What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Misplay for Game podcast. As always, holding it down on stream, your only certified license holding yapper that runs a podcast, joined by my favorite friends. But first, of course, Sandra Elixir.
Hey gang, it's your boy Tom. I'm pre-recorded, so you can't see me right now, but I actually, surprisingly, I see you no matter what's happening. And I need you to get your life together. It's not looking good, Chief.
And then I don't see you and I don't perceive you because, you don't matter to me. And the only thing I care about is money. So make sure you subscribe and give us the... Actually, I don't even get a cut out of Andrew's anything. I just do this for the love of the game.
We're haters for the sport.
Yeah, I just hate because I like it.
Yeah, and if you liked that heartfelt message to low tier God, because this is going to be the last podcast that we get to record before he officially hits the counter.
That's so funny.
This is the best shit that's happening on the internet right now. By the way, that shit's hilarious.
That, the punk bleed beef. That's Fuego. So shout outs to the death of 2XKO. It died and brought back the salty sweet and beef sets and just black excellence on my timeline. But yeah, if you want to support excellence of all kinds of Digimon variety, you should support the channel by liking the video, subscribing for free on YouTube and for free on Twitch, and it actually gives us money. And you can take money away from a billionaire who would not support excellence of any kind. Or you can join, become a member, get access to bonus content that we will definitely record, and Marcio will definitely be there for it 100% this time for real.
That's how long this takes.
Yeah. So about that ban list, huh?
Yo, dude. Okay, listen. Can you do me a favor? I was reading this before. Go ahead, pull up the actual webpage for the banned and restricted list, because it's so funny that you pointed this out in our homies Discord, Andrew, but I've not seen anyone else talk about this online. The way they write the ban list reasoning now is so different from how they used to do it before. If you go down to the last one from the previous developers, which was the Serb X, Dober X,
yeah,
and they're trying to find really nice ways to describe what's going on, or just go up a little bit, and it's you click on the.
They changed how they do this now.
Yeah, you have to click on the view more. Here it is. Yeah, so if you look at any of these ones, it's in purple decks that rely on the trash, as well as decks that play by effects. This provides a majority of the core effects required. It's okay, this is just fucking everything. It's the best card we ever designed, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't matter. So they explain it in why we're doing this, right? If you go up and read why they put Nyaramon in the blender.
I think Patamon's the funniest one.
Yeah, Patamon, they're no, actually, and one more thing, and one more thing, and one more thing. They don't instead of wrapping it all up and it does all of these things in one little line, they're oh yeah, also this messes up what we design around. Also, the inherit was bullshit. Why did we make this? Also, it's cheating and it's gambling.
Dude, it's excellent because it reads the same way we complain on the podcast, where someone makes a point and just hey, by the way, this thing is also responsible for this, and then the first person gets mad again.
Yeah. But the Nyaramon kills me. The Nyaramon, they're we can't have this in the game.
Yeah.
As the card pool grows, it continues to contribute to an increasingly fast game pace.
We thought about it, but fuck that. It's awesome.
Yeah, the new team do not half-ass it. So I'm all right with it. I'm sad about Gromon, but I get it. It was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But we Misplay for Game are never wrong 5 times in a row. After how long have we been doing the courtroom ban list?
I think this was our
2 years.
4th one. That was our
Did we do it?
Because we did 2, then we had Antics, and then it was this one, right? Maybe it's 3.
Yeah,
maybe it's 3.
Okay, so if it's 2, call it 1.5 years, almost 2 years. We're never wrong for 2 years straight. They got him in the end.
Honestly, never wrong, just early.
This is true. I mean, you pointed out to us the other day that every card we have talked about on our show has at least now been included on one of these ban lists. Yep. So Misplay for Game, 100% hit rate. We're always right.
The shotgun method truly remains unmatched. If you just say enough cards, you'll eventually be right.
I think my only issue.
Alter S. Ooh, Omnimon, Alter S.
Ooh, they want to kill him.
My only issue with the ban list is they didn't hit anything that was quote unquote new, because these just feel like hits from like a year ago. Like you could have hit all these cards a year ago and like it would have been fine. It just feels like we're like a year behind.
I felt like this was always going to happen though. I thought that this was like, it's releasing right before a new set. This is the most please buy product ban list you could get. It hits all of the things that weren't in BT24 and you just goes, I guess you'll have to buy a new product to play meta deck. Smile.
And like, even like, it's like, does Tohu Braves like die off of like losing analog?
No, they gave them a really cool white tamer that they really want you to buy in the new upcoming set of BT26.
So it's like, it's very difficult to just like, I mean, analog, obviously it's like, it's a great hit, but like, it's like, we've been complaining about this card for like 2 years.
Shout out to the artwork, by the way, that we just don't have.
The
oh wait, no, is this 81? Is that 81?
No. Is that 81's gold border?
That might be. Yeah. I think we have all of these.
Okay, they're actually missing an alt then, because they're missing the flat champion gold one.
I think if it says not for sale on it, I don't know if they include those.
Yeah.
Or I guess the event pack one would have not for sale on it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
Je ne sais pas.
I agree with Marcio though. Like it feels. I was talking about this with somebody before at locals this week, and it was like the ban list feels like this is the final ban list from pre-unification Digimon. Like this is like all the decks that abused these cards were out before like unification and like Liberator and all that stuff. Like really, it's like from like, EX11 on. Like these are the decks that were like busted pre-emblem Digimon. You know what I mean? So it's like now that we're kind of caught up, like I guess Nyaramon kind of bled into puppets and stuff, but like before Time Stranger, before Liberator ended, like most of these were contenders in like best decks in the format.
And it's like not to say that Nyaramon didn't also have a shitload of tops before puppets as well.
Yeah. I'm not gonna listen.
Like Yellowback
for a long time. Yeah, but like
it's like it's difficult to like sometimes take like the balancing team like seriously, because I think there's something to be said about the fact that like Digimon power creep is basically our ban list. Like there are some decks that like, kind of pop in and out, or like some decks that are good for like a good amount of time. But for the most part, a deck would just kind of like fall off because there's just more newer, better decks. Mm-hmm. But then they have to hit like cards that are like, this card has been good multiple times. And it's like, yeah, it has, but you didn't hit it the first time that it was good. You didn't hit it the second time that it was good. Unless the card is like a giant like outlier, you're going to hit it like the fifth time maybe the card sees play. And that's just because like you want us to stop playing it to buy a new product.
It kills me too, because it's like the longer you look at when they make the changes, the fact that they've been spring, fall for 2 years means that it kind of always misses the regional seasons. You finish a whole run of regionals with like a couple tiny exceptions. Like if you were Liverpool 2023 or Toronto 2026, you've gotten like a weird one where you played like a ghost format that no one tested. And there's like a couple others. I'm not forgetting yours to be mean to you, Chatter. But like the context is that most of the time they put these things in as like bookends. So it's like, after your run of event packs and prize cards, and especially now that the uncut sheets are a thing, it's like when you look at what was good when I was winning BT24 uncut sheet, it's that block. And then now that those are gone, it's the ban list, and then they're gonna keep doing it this way. So it's neat. I wish, like Marcy said, they'd take some action early ahead of time so that we wouldn't have to stress about it all the time and like take them seriously.
Not to go on like a random tangent, but like not to say that I miss pre-unification like Digimon, but I think like the thing that like distinguished English from like JP was that we played like revised JP, because often the ban list was hitting things in Japan for us. So like when we eventually got like that metagame, we had like a bit of a different landscape to it. Like sometimes we had like JP metagame, but I remember like the ban list, like BT8 was a completely different format for us, like off the top of my head, right? Because we didn't have to deal with like blue, yellow hybrid, all the formats. So like Imperial got to actually like see play and a bunch of other stuff. And so I think like it feels like the ban list is still in that same way of like, well, the balance is coming, the balance is happening so that you guys in English, get to play a different format from Japan. It's like, okay, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we play the same format. So why
it's not as beta tested anymore? Yeah, we all actually have to play the actual Japanese Kusoge as part of Digimon that they were hiding from us sometimes. Like not exclusively hidden. Don't get me wrong. We put some dog shit formats over the years, but like these days, the longer you're, it's the thought that like Nyaromon got away with it 4 times and only now did we get it. Compare that to like when they hit scatter mode. It's like no shit, we hit scatter mode, but because we have to all be on the same block, I totally get it.
Yeah, do we know, is Korea fully up to date now?
Should be.
I think they're almost there. I think it's the end of this year.
I knew for Worlds.
Don't fact check me on that because we haven't looked at it since Worlds.
Yeah,
but
I knew Worlds. They weren't caught up, which is obviously why the irony of a Korean dude being.
I don't think they had AD or anything. Like that was the most recent release, and I'm certain that wasn't out.
Okay, so then nearly caught up. I do wonder if once the game is caught up, the new producers, because we've spoken to people, and it's not it was like a Murata decision to have the ban list like twice a year rather than it, as and when. So who knows? Maybe Mr. Lang will be like, you know what? I've decided that I would like people to buy product. Please, shoot your favorite Scrimbler below.
I think the other thing is that sets are different now, though. Like especially since Liberator, I guess the EX7. So from EX7 on, there are call them slop decks or trait decks or whatever the hell people want to call them, but like they design a lot more decks where like the pack filler level 4 purple whatever dork or any kind of card like that used to just be like, oh, this is a problematic card that will be good in 5 years. It's not a surprise anymore when the Muskets cards got good 2 years later, because we knew we were like, when Sparrowmon became relevant, it was because it was designed to do that, and it wasn't like, oh, we didn't think about this implication. The way the game has changed, and the way BT26 has like 2 random CS cards coming out, like that is them tipping a finger on the scale so that that CS gets 2 good cards better as an archetype.
It feels like they're a lot more intentional and I guess it feels like they stand on business a lot more about like the decisions that they're making from a deck design perspective. I don't think we've seen anything super egregious that isn't, represented on the ban list as like did you forget that this card from EX1 is still playable at 4? Oops.
I think it's like, to expand on that, I definitely agree that nowadays it's like the reason why the deck is strong is because of like the whole deck and less so like individual cards. Like there's like some cards that like I personally have like beef with, but like when I think about an archetype, not that often it's like, oh, this one card is like the reason why the deck is good. It's rather like the whole like package is like good, right? Like to talk about if you talk about Medusa, like I kind of had to like really like think about it, and I was like, well, if I was going to hit something about Medusa, I guess I'd hit Cyclo. But like when Cyclo shows up, I'm not like, not that Cyclomon.
Yeah, not Cyclomon again. Yeah.
It is really interesting that like we now, especially now that we have the history of the ban list, stuff like the non-obvious hits that they make end up being like a trust the process kind of ban. Obviously, there was a tipping point that was going to happen with like Growlix, but like for the intent of taking a deck out without completely, brutalizing it, they're a lot better at picking, like hitting the thing next to the giant bullseye, and actually doing what the hit needs to do, like the Growlix, like, the Cyclo being a potential hit for Medusa that doesn't completely destroy the deck, but takes away some of like the scammy high rolls, just acknowledging that Nyaromon was a problem and not hitting 5 cards around it.
Not choosing to keep Shakumon in the game so that you can play an Angels deck instead of like Nyaro Angels OTK. And when they do like blow the deck's head smooth off, it's like, well, we gave you lots of warnings about Mirage or whatever, and they'll explain that. So I get what you mean. I don't know. I think a third one a year, and then I'd feel like we're on base.
I think especially if they don't want to hit more cards than you can count on one hand, then it would be nice to see 3 lists a year, because that if there's the card that has the giant alarm bells around it and they hit the guy next to it, there's you don't have 6 months of going, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, as it tops and tops and tops. They might shoot it in the head.
I Marcio's point about like it's not just one card anymore, it's like a whole deck. The decks that are still kind of like that, like I've been playing a lot of Volk. Volk's Bozo core, but like Volk would be BDIF in a year gone by because his 1 card quality is so good. but he's part of a larger puzzle now. So
he's
it's like
such a problem as well from being like a main like part of the game and the idealized power fantasy is the deck is 3 cards. And you can't hit any of them because otherwise you just completely destroy the whole point of
or not until it gets a second wave and they print a better, more normal Devo.
Yeah, I was also gonna say like if you shoot Dan Cannon, they did just print a Dan and Cannon, which is very funny.
Maybe that's not their intention, but I think like at some point they probably want to like make you have to choose between do you want to attack or do you want to cast like a spell, right?
I would have thought so, but the reveals today were Chronicles cards that cast spells, so they're all about attacking and playing spell cards.
Which I think is like from a gameplay, like from a gameplay like point of like trying to like weave in one half of like how many fucking unique cards do we have? We have Digimon.
It's 3 if you don't include eggs.
Options.
Right. So like for a long time, options just felt like they were kind of sidelined unless they were like very clearly like, okay, this is either like one of the best tech slots like ever, but like most options were like kind of pack filler unless you could like in purple, like I remember early into the game, like the what was the Tidamon option called? That was like the 4-cost one that was like when this is discarded, draw one.
No,
sorry, Underworld Gate. Call.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Something like that, right? Minus like the Infinity Stones, there were like not a ton of cards that like you played. Like in set 1, you played like Gaia Force because it was like a security bomb, and like I think that's what it was, right? They wanted to move card design away from like security bombs and like actually like making you like play them.
It genuinely feels, you know, when you get like a new middle manager. And they've come in from like a different branch, or maybe it's their first time in this management position. Like, yeah, we're gonna make some sweeping changes around here. I'm seeing where there's a lack of productivity, and we're gonna boost that. They look like, all right, what can you bring to the team? It's like, ain't nobody playing options. What if we change that?
Yeah,
and we've had ignore color requirements on everything generic TS options. We've had cast them at attack step off of the CS options. We now have dual cards that are Digimon and options, and then it's like, what if your tamer turned the brick in your hand into a way to turn Homero sideways?
Like, it wasn't, I think, Digimon, we did play options because, like, the delays were options, but, like, the options that we played were either floodgates / security bombs, consistency cards, or Infinity Stones. And I think they want you to, like, you know, do something that isn't just like one of those 3. And so
at the end of the day, Digimon, like, especially if you're a Digimon fan that came from the anime, or even like I guess some of the games where they still have signature attacks, you do want your War Greymon to be doing Terra Force. Like you remember the names of certain attacks from the show. I want to see XVmon do V Laser. He ain't gonna. But I think that's one of the things, like the card game is so smoothed over with that versus something like Hearthstone, or even Yu-Gi-Oh's fucked around with like having roleplay options or roleplay spells that do stuff. So I think it's a cool idea to try and bring Digimon back into like the, wow, I remember the voice clip of this. I say Inferno Divide with the chipmunk voice because that's what Werewolf Mode sounds like in the game. He sounds like a chud.
I wish it didn't take them like 20 something sets to like weave these into the game. I think like I wish that we did less like egregious like options and more like easy to cast like core part of like the game flow. But like at the same time, like back in the day, you know, you evolved on a vanilla for one, and that was Digimon.
Do you remember when BT16 was
Nightmon?
BT16 was like our first. Oh yeah, you get a free rookie. And when you evolve, you gain back 1 memory. So the 2 cost you basically 1 cost. Isn't that cool? They've been trying to make it so you have a more active participation in climbing and doing the big power thing. And options,
which I think is a bad idea because it homogenizes this deck and the decks play themselves and there's no skill in Digimon.
Marcio said earlier that every deck is a Mega Zoo deck now. And we had that comment in the Misplay for Game Discord a little bit back too. And I think it's cool because it's like the way that they make you feel less like a chud for losing your stack to all these crazy option cards that they're playing is that your deck can have multiple angles to play on now. It's like, oh, maybe they're cooking. Maybe it is fun for the game to be like 10 turns and not 4 turns. They figured some shit out here, gang. Maybe they do it with a little less Hammer Sparky Tamer card out of security or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is, what it is.
Assembly has
Winning
been the
card.
funniest consequence of the game because the amount of times now is
Machine
like,
Dramon's first good contribution to the world.
yeah, and it's just like, oh man, you took me off board. Well, at least I know where all the pieces are. So let me bring that shit back. It'll cost you an amount. Like you're passing turn with it, but at the very least you still end on the dude.
Yeah.
I said this before. It like really freaked me out when real ones know, real lore heads, you know, real old school friends, real remembers remember when like I was like appalled at like Digicross being released. Like when Cross Art came
So
out,
broken.
I was like, holy shit, this reads like Budify end of service. Like this is like
You thought Digimon was dead.
yeah.
But
I
to
was
be
like,
fair, you also used to say every game has the Bandai 3-year curse. And that was
Yes.
year 3.
That was
That
year
was
3,
like-
and he was kind of spitting. Cross 4 being one of them. They wanted those cards good.
I was just in disbelief that I was like, holy shit, the game is going to die because the part like the game like Digicrossing feels like the mechanic of like Digimon is like so gone that like it genuinely felt like an end of service deck.
Yeah.
It was like the game is going to die. This is the last deck that like we're gonna get that's like new. And then they kept pushing. But Digicross always felt kind of like like only really specific only specific decks had Digicross and like
Mhm.
there weren't that many things that like, you know, wanted to like slam for like reduced cost and it felt kind of bad. And then they kind of hit a sweet spot with like the I think it really started with not Royal Knights, but I think TS was like when they're like, okay, we're gonna make like these 6 Chunguses, like let you do a thing that like buys you another turn. Like you
Yeah.
can slam and not feel like you're gonna lose next turn because like you're buying yourself a little bit of time. Like if you play badly, maybe not badly, but like if you play for tempo and the opponent has an answer, you don't feel like you lost the game on the spot, right?
Mhm.
So
There was more to it than that, which is cool because the more intent and thought behind the cards, the better. And I think it also you can really like treat it like a before and after in Digimon for when they came up with ways to do that work. Like scramble plus instant rebuild is very different than I lost the board, so I'll play Minerva. Like they've come up with ways to do it over the years that feel good in different ways. So as long as they keep following that path, they'll get better. But
I think assembly is like
ooh.
I think assembly, I don't think it's problematic. I think assembly
just a resource you can interact with now too.
I think assembly, I don't know if it like soft power creep scrambles, but like it almost tells me that there are certain decks that can't fit scrambles in. They're basically like reworking your boss monster so that like it can also be assembled.
I don't even think that's a problem with assembly. I think it's just a consequence of a lot of these when digivolving do full combo kind of decks is like we've been talking about, like, when do you have time to cast scramble? Because you push your 3, it evolves to 4, your 4 goes straight into a 5 or a 6, and it's like, where was the time?
Yeah, I'm not going to derail this. I was going to say that I'm not going to derail what we're doing, but I've been really excited about the LM cards that come out this Friday because there's a red and blue training, and I have been playing a lot of Galaxy online on DCGO. Just because,
stunned.
Yeah, dude, the ability to go turn 1, rookie and back, red blue training, and then when you promote you to a Galaxy thing that would have been good a year ago and is now only already like if you don't now it's like if you don't do that, you're going to lose the game on the spot.
Hiroko feels bad.
Yeah. It puts into perspective like how messed up it is when Glowing Dawn is doing all this shit for free on the side. So whether or not like other things come back to get that kind of support, I think the other one is like Adventure is one of those decks I point to when I'm like, oh, that was a tipping point where like the options were good in different ways, where like the purpose of Adventure's passive play was not just setting up infinite delays, it was setting up the tamers over and over again because you needed colors. Like they made the space had to accommodate needing colors.
And you also wanted the memory, right? Like
yeah, it was almost like, and this is a weird analogy, but it's almost like instead of needing a color requirement to use the option or whatever, they made the Digimon need color requirement. So it was like the birds and the Togemons and Bergermons needed X number of colors.
3.
Yeah, it needed 3. So it was a little like when you were playing an old 2-color deck and you couldn't find your combo because you didn't have the color. It was a little like that, where it was like you had to get that number right. So that felt like a change where it was like once you see the decks play at that angle, that's like where they were willing to expand on. But there's been other busted stuff over the years. You know, the ban list is leading us in a certain direction that I think will be good. But
did you see Jumbo's tweet about like, listen, mate, you're not getting Greymon X back?
Yeah, ever. You're not, by the way, chat. If it happens, I'll buy the rest of the stupid shiny ones, but it's just never coming back. That deck is they can't print things like that anymore, because if something was that broken back then, imagine it today. That's what the problem is.
Kessa buying 4 alts of Grandis in case they let the big bug.
I don't think Grandis got it like that. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, end of attack, unsuspend, and hit another guy.
Grandis was really cool when things didn't have as much protection, or if they did, you put them sideways. Now things have protection and can be redirected. So my ass is not getting. Yeah, my ass is not getting over like.
Grandis swinging at Volk. It's the first green deck to lose to a black deck in history.
Like, Grandis is not making it back, gang.
Well, bugs might still be good though.
Yeah. Okay. Just because DigiDane posted a video doesn't mean that he's right.
No, we were thinking this. But I mean, Dane is just the messenger.
That was my nuclear hot take on the predictions videos. I still think bugs has some shit. Burn 4 ain't nothing. You just got to fill up all the inherits just right.
Those cards are like really exciting. I've said before, those cards are really exciting, but like until I see it, I don't think. And
be the change you want to see, Marcio.
I'm going to change to a different card game.
Projects. Yeah.
I'm going to change to the Naruto TCG.
What you should do is you should send Seb a 50 and you let him loose.
He can't play green.
He plays Green Ranger. He's like
the green.
I've seen him play Green Ranger. He activates his cards.
Okay, real, but like you know, you could just send him to try and like scam people in best of 1 online Digimon. You know.
I mean, yeah.
That's why we pay the Misplay mercs, Marcio.
Yeah. Billy will play bugs, maybe.
True, actually.
That dude does love green. I mean,
Johnny will not play because
no, Johnny's gonna be on Bacchus Ceres. I feel like we gotta put like, I don't know, Billy on Blue.
I will tell you who plays bugs though. DHM, he's a bug lover. He fucking loves that shit. Because it was one of the like control decks of the time, and like, you know, real
he
ones
likes control playing.
Yeah,
he's just always had like since we played card games as a kid. That's just his thing. It's weird though. I don't know. I think again though, bugs getting something like assembly recontextualizes how all that old stuff works. So it's cool, man.
Congratulations, you finally squished the bug.
Yeah, there's some thought to it.
Shout out to the slug that keeps making its way into my kitchen through an orifice that we cannot find.
Dude, but is it the best slug of all time?
Well, it do be slugging.
I could think of a slug that was pretty good in Digimon over the years.
In a specific format.
Yeah, maybe even it might have been the best in that format.
It might also be pretty good in this current format.
Dude, I just want to point out before you pan to this view, Andrew, the acronym I have here is so good. It made me laugh for like a minute.
Okay.
Gang, welcome back to Misplay for Games incendiary bracketeering format. We normally do these pre-recorded, so that's why this episode is, because we don't want to listen to
this was just a Banlist video. No,
nah, bucko, we're settling some serious shit. Call me Stephen A. Smith the way I'm getting awards for being the worst reporter of all time. Welcome to Misplay for Games Digimon TCG BDIF video.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's called BDIF. Scroll up a little bit, you can see it. So the people who spell it out. It's the BDIF. It's the best decking format of all time.
Yeah, the format is all time. I like that we were kind of smoking the same pack. I just like that I did read those letters and ignored them and separately wrote out basically the same joke.
I scrambled the seating, and
which is why 7 Great Demon Lords has a wrong one by.
Yeah, this is enough of a comprehensive list that I felt like it would be fun to argue about it. But if you think of something halfway through us doing this, get in the comments. Let me know how I should read that you were right and I was wrong.
Yeah.
So real quick, we're not gonna do this deck beat that deck. This is not what we're trying.
Not even a little.
That will only happen if like we can't decide on like any other metric and then we'll be petty about it, and then be like, oh yeah, but like, does it beat it though?
Oh, Tom, did
I
you
want
give me
I want the
admin for this?
head-to-head to come after which deck has more aura. You know what I mean? Like we're
We'll
going
think of anything
head-to-head
else
is
first.
the last. It's the Z. It's plan Z.
Yeah.
We're talking about these decks in like their format against like all the decks that they were playing against and how dominant they were in their format. And we might even like, oh, you know, if we brought this card back, would it still be pretty good in today's day and age? We might do that just to like add some more context. But what we're not doing is like, guys, I think Medusa beats Plans. And it's like, okay, but that's not what we're arguing.
Yeah, the point is that we're specifically going through this. So like each of these things at their peak, do they convert? Do we still think they had it like that? What's the legacy, right? What's the long-term look at it?
How will Faker, you know, deal with blue Omnimon?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see though, because there's a lot of these on here. Actually, to be fair, what is the Faker is a different question too. Because everyone's always like, what is the LeBron? But what is the Faker?
Yeah.
Different question.
All right. So let's get into it then. So
yeah, this is just I looked
try
online,
not to take too long.
Yeah, I looked online to see literally what people would argue were the best decks ever. And I just took a census, and then I took things that topped a bunch.
Are we also taking like
card meta.
For decks that have multiple variants? Are we just assuming the best
all-time peak, whatever it was? So like, I'll give you an example because the deck I knew was going to get comments on here is Cross. People are like, Cross is my honest mid-tier good guy aggro deck. I'm a good community server. Wrong. That is the most disgusting all-time printed aggro deck. And like, they should have never made those cards in BT10. They needed to shoot Cross 4 through the head in one day.
Nearly killed the game.
Yeah, genuinely the most disgusting deck ever.
Like that Crosshair might be a contender for like
fourth seed. You know, a little underseeded, maybe a little washed recently, but you know, people.
Again, we're not talking about see
exactly. That's why he's fourth seed. All right, Maste versus Millie. Is this KDA?
There's so many Mastes, fam. I need you guys to actually think about what that means. Mastemon, I think KDA Maste is going to be the answer of like, that's the most disgusting version the deck ever had. But I think it's not without its merit in saying something like the best of one, no ban list nightmare that was like
nasty.
Yeah, exactly. Some of that stuff it was legit good enough. And in like EX6, it was legit.
So like, I think Millenni, I don't think Millenni was ever like the best. I don't think neither of these were the best deck of their like format. And I think like Millenni suffers a little bit from like low popularity and like low conversion compared to like Maste. Unfortunately, I think Maste clears. Oh
yeah, I agree. I'm a Millenni hater, and I just don't think you can be the guy if you aren't the most popular shithead too.
So
and like KDA Maste had people doing YouTube combo videos.
Yeah, like there's that. I'd say Millenni is also hurt specifically by two very big problems. Like, yeah, sure, like Europe did have some really good representation. It does like a lot of like top 8 representation. The problem is its ops have too much clout, and Jill bricked at Worlds. If Jill had won Worlds, this might be even a slowly closer.
So different.
But what some people may forget is like, you know, the Megami slander. You know, the goat of slander of all time. Yeah, there is one potential Mon that actually has like the potential like image, and that is Millenniumon.
True. They did make a potential man Millenni meme.
Yeah, so I feel like just like the internet told me, if zero wins, 0 progress in bracket, 7 if he won Worlds though.
All right, I'm stamping it for Mastemon.
I think Maste unfortunately goes through.
I'm stamping it for Mastemon. Okay, so Dark Masters and Adventure. So I put Dark Masters on here because technically that is what Apocalypse is supposed to be. But I'm sure I think that's what they want you to do with it. So that's why.
So is Dark Masters separate from Apocalypse as a deck? Because like,
I believe so.
You
know what? Apoc has gone on here on its own.
Okay.
That might have been why the data was weird. So Dark Masters. You know what? Actually, fuck Dark Masters. What are we even talking about? Dark Masters is in the car park outside. He's not playing at the Staples Center.
Okay. What I will say is, while I think Dark Masters maybe had more, did it have more tops?
It has a shit ton of top. It's a top 32 merchant.
I think Dark Master has more tops than Adventure. However,
Adventure has a regional win.
Adventure has a regional win, baby. So Huang Zero might go, making my cool deck look good. So
I'll also say this, because this is of all time, right? Depending on how uncharitable you feel about this, Adventure, all of the ping pong cards are Adventure tagged. So Adventure has like a two-face coin where it's like don't, you know, it's so cool, man, but actually also secretly it's like the Terminator.
So like my thing with Adventure is like I think Adventure was I'm trying to like make it look good. I know it's gonna get knocked out the next
goes crazy in Eden format.
Yeah, I suppose like Eden All-Star. My thing with Adventure is that like
Infinity Stone Merchant.
No, it was a really good deck that a lot of people were not good at because it was like a starter deck and it was like unintuitive on like what you were supposed to do.
It is really interesting that they had a period of releasing starter decks that were closer to advanced deck sets in that they were non-standard gameplay. Like here's your intro to the game. We're teaching you how to play it wrong. It's
also that like Adventure suffered from the fact that like it needed an SEC. Like it needed tie, and like a lot of people just didn't want to fork over the money for tie. So like, and also like the people that were playing Adventure were predominantly like new players, and I think like more seasoned players took a bit longer to be convinced of like Adventure's like performance. But in its format, which was what, BT21? No. 22.
21 was when it started topping. I think that's when Huang won the regional on it.
Oh yeah, because Hero Slop was
same set.
Gogglebox.
Yeah, Gogglehead box. I think like bar like a couple matchups, it was genuinely like really good into a lot of stuff. It just because it was like around the same time as like Maggie, right?
Yeah, same set.
Yeah.
So and it had a decent like Maggie matchup. So yeah, I think Adventure clears just because I like it more and Tom likes it more and Andrew doesn't really care.
Yeah, I'm indifferent to both. I like Dark Masters from an arts perspective.
It's cool that they allow little leaguers into events like this.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. So
these are like horrible. Not horrible. Who the fuck seeded these, man?
I know. What the hell happened? I asked Challenge for one thing. So these are two of the least interesting best deck in formats of all time. Like when Machine was the guy, it was so absolutely miserably unfun to play with. Oh my gosh,
it's Galaxy. It's not Grace Nova. This is Galaxy Freelo.
Oh, Galaxy. Sorry, yeah, I read that as Galacti.
This is Galaxy.
Yeah, this is Galaxy.
Oh, I'm brain dead. I can't read. I read that as Galaxy.
That's okay. I was thinking like this was like Hiroko Galaxy.
I think I put Galacti as Vemmon because technically it was like
that's fine.
Vemmon stuff down.
I was like, there's no way you're gonna make me compare Galacti versus Machine. Like,
no, this has to be Galaxy free, no?
I think Galaxy gets away with a lot because it borrowed some clout from Mirage. So we have to really draw the line on what is a Galaxy dub and what is a Mirage.
The Cavaliers also borrowed a lot of clout from LeBron.
But the Cavs have a fun NBA record, Andrew. Thanks for making my point for me. That the season after LeBron left for the Heat is the single all-time greatest fall off in any sporting track record of like all of the NBA games can be plotted, and they basically lost like 66% more games because there was no LeBron James.
Yeah, 100. Yeah,
is Galaxy therefore a bum with no Mirage?
That is fair, but Machine is so much of a bum. Like Bro breaks his ACL, like Tez's ACL every format. They have to come back with a brand new Machine. He is actually the bum factory.
I knew you'd say this. You've fallen into my trap card, my friend. Did you notice that it says of all formats of all time down there? You're forgetting about Monocolor Ulti Cup 2024.
Okay, I was saving this point for Bloom.
This deck is the devil. It converted so well in that format that people wanted more restrictions put on it.
Okay,
wait, surely it wasn't even the best black.
It wasn't the best.
Yeah, because BWG.
No,
It has, I would say, a better case to be made in terms of being the best deck across multiple formats. That just happens to be one of them, that it was a top contender.
It was one of the better decks in Monocolor Ultimate Cup, but it wasn't like the de facto like winner because the format was like a triangle-ish format.
But yeah, it lost to Bloom, but we're not doing head-to-heads here.
And Mirage was also quite strong.
It
in
wasn't
that
even
format.
the best black deck. Like BWG was better.
Black War Greymon?
No. It
Not
was a
without
funny
the red
counter.
stuff. You couldn't play the red
Yeah, I
stuff.
guess you can play Dobek.
I think there's layers to it where Machine got away with a lot that the other decks didn't in that context, and it's had so many years of being relevant, and it's had regional wins.
Okay,
and
peak versus consistency. Like Galaxy won Worlds.
Galaxy has won Worlds.
Galaxy won Worlds. It's won some, big LCQs.
It got second to EU Finals 2025.
Llama won.
Lost to Takamiko. Llama won an ALCQ with it.
Yeah, Llama. So there you go. That automatic. Like when we
listen, if I'm getting on my soapbox, I think it's Galaxy too because Galaxy has the aura. Machine is like, Tiger Woods is like one of the most incredible athletes ever, but I think he's not that interesting, and he like got into a car crash because he used to drink.
Yeah, that was Sayo and Co.
Yeah, Galaxy is Man,
I was back to the ban list multiple times.
Yeah. A number of times. Galaxy. Oh, fellas, we haven't even touched on Infinity Memory Turn Skip Galaxy Loop, by the way.
Yeah. A bit fraudulent, but like I'll get
Psyonco.
Lance Armstrong got caught doing steroids, but they didn't take away all his trophies.
Alexi
you know what I mean?
is doing tax fraud for Na'Vi. He's still playing. It's fine.
The thing is, right? It will be easier to then argue for another deck against Galaxy versus Machine, because with Machine, I think like the points are just kind of annoying to like argue for if I have to play devil's advocate. Whereas like with Galaxy, I'll more likely fold and give it to the deck like afterwards.
You're right. I see the vision. I'm cool with that.
It's like if we get Machine out of the way now, we don't have to do the Machine talk ever again.
I'll mark Galaxy up here, fellas, but I want you to really imagine that Obama meme where I put a medal over myself.
Yeah, no. As soon as we all realized that this did not mean Grace Nova deck, it was like, this deck is so good. Lord Knight.
Lord Knight in any of its iterations.
W.
But Lord specifically Knight. Like. I want to have some. I want to have some like some Unk era the people.
It was better when he played for the yellow team.
Dude, it's like when you see like the Arsenal jersey and when you see that really old one, like you're a Thierry Henry fan, eh? When you see Lord Knight, and it's like I love yellow decks. I'm like I see you.
So what I will say is like at their peaks, Rocks was good, but it was never the best deck in its format, right? Like EX10, like a little bit after that, when I would be like, this is like when Rocks was like really, really good. Was like EX10 onwards. I had some good showings.
I have one. I'll let you finish, but I have one point to this.
What I will say is that the format revolved around Lord Knight. It was either you granted, it was BT5 exclusively because as soon as BT6 came out, Lord Knight was cheeks because Bonds just fucking folded it. Like Gabu Bond just absolutely smoked its shit. So like in BT5, like Lord Knight was the deck to beat. It was either you play Lord Knight or you play a counter to Lord Knight. It was very binary.
Yeah.
And I also think it also allowed players to... there was a lot of player skill expression that this deck enabled that Rocks has never and will never enable. Unless your name is exactly Ben. If
but then thought of a way to make this shit work by putting something other than Rocks cards in
it.
You know what I mean?
But all I'm saying is like if you desperately need finalist prizing, or maybe your invite when it's the end of a format and there's going to be 17 pass downs, Rocks was excellent. Whereas Lord Knight was like you showed up to win, and if you aim for the stars when you fall slightly short, you still got your top and probably the equivalent of an invite. That deck, there's so much, like it has so much gravitational pull that they were afraid to ever make him again.
They changed his color.
These are great points. These are excellent points.
He's on a no-fly list to certain countries.
I think we are downplaying the contribution that Coach Icemon brought to the situation here.
I actually disagree.
Because even though it was the little deck that can't, Charles Barkley was still the guy. He lost to Michael Jordan a lot, but he was the guy. You know what I mean? I think if your only fault is that Kryptonite exists and Hoodiemon was allowed to roam the streets. You, in any other context, Rox is by a mile the best deck in that format. It farmed almost every other matchup it could have played once it got Icemon.
Okay, what
I don't know.
I
don't know.
If we want to start talking about late game pickups, do you know what's also a D1 track athlete all-star that made Lord Knight's run through playoffs deep? Leviamon. When he switched up and donned a New Jersey purple draw one, trash one, Lord Knightmon was a deck that you had to acknowledge. Whereas the fucking Rox, they still bummed.
That was like retirement era. Like that was the Washington Wizards. Michael Jordan, like he was there for the paycheck and to sign some T-shirts. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The Dark Animals won that championship.
Yeah. Exactly. The Dark Animals won the championship, but
there
he was on the team.
On the Bulls than LeBron.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Bronny here,
Jordan.
Icemon, LeBron Jr., he's putting up 1 bucket a game.
Hey, LeBron James is out here. He's actually doing all right this year.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
What I will say
is all right enough?
Rox, I think, was more. If we looked at like EX10, I think the deck was like more dominant in comparison to 23, but like in 23 we got the actual BDIF, which was Hoodie, right? Like, so immediately when we're in the conversation of like, can this deck, like it has a bit of longevity, but it lost the title straight away, which the same thing for Lord Knight. But in EX10 the format did not revolve around Rox. Like there were other players.
Rox was an interesting deck that would benefit.
It was on the table.
Yeah, I think it would benefit from a hindsight format. Like if you were to like go back to like a time capsule with the deck building and kind of like
reunification.
Yeah, like if we like the late game understandings now, if you took the red pill and went back 5 formats with all the knowledge you have now, would Rox have actually been format warping? But
dude, I think it's so funny that you saying that actually makes me think it's less Rox than I did before, because now knowing what we know about how you interact with Rox in those formats, I just don't think you could go back to BT5 and it hasn't changed. It's Lord Knight or nothing.
Yeah.
And I think we got to give it to him for that.
Yeah. And again, I'll say the player skill thing. Lord Knight let you show player skill. The Rox players never figured out Rox until it was way too late because they were the Rox players.
I was going to make a case for there being something to a deck can be so Omega Omni stupid busted that like it can carry you through that sort of thing. That can then in some cases be a case for that's the most busted deck ever. But Lord Knight really like it. There's that it has a pull. If you play BT5 in any capacity, you know what we mean.
Yeah.
All right. Are we sitting? Can I click it for Lord Knight?
Yeah. Lock in Lord Knight.
All right, Lord Knight
also, just breaking news. Here's the coach of the Virus Imperial was arrested in the parking lot, and the team aren't able to show up to the bracket. So I think the 40th round draft muskets have immediately moved on to round 2. Shocking scenes.
I can't argue with the truth. Virus Imperial is for all that it tried to be something different from its much more traditionally successful athlete brother, it should not have done a bunch of drugs outside and gotten disqualified. That was not the move.
What I will say about like Virus is that I don't think Virus only gets to exist as a counter pick deck. It was never best deck in format. Any time that it was viable, it was because it was a counter pick to something that was like in the format.
Yes.
So when it got the Dino B and it also had like, when promo Shadramon Stonks like finally went up and we got the super rare Dino B and the deck became like super legit. I think its place in the metagame was largely as like a counter to like Royal Knights, because this was Royal Knights after they got like their new fucking like jacked up game plan with Omnimon X. And even the last time that the deck was relevant was a Hoodie counter, but it wasn't the only Hoodie counter. Like Levi
It wasn't
X,
even the best Hoodie counter.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was pretty good, but I don't think it was the best. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah,
I agree with Marcio to even such an extent with this that we forget sometimes that when it was originally developed in EX3, it was good because it beat SetCon. And SetCon was good enough back then. It was an out to some of those OTK decks.
It also
Um,
cleared a bloom board really well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the dragon mode is. I mean, virus dragon mode is maybe should be on here on his own. He's let down by
Yeah.
some of his bum ass teammates. But muskets, whew, what a glow up. So this is a tricky one though. I think we can give this the luxury of the doubt to every one of the three musketeers' best cards, and in that context,
They're all
I don't
named
think Avenged
Billstarmon. That's
Kidmon
kind
will
of
make
good.
the cut because he was a Setcon buddy.
Yeah,
he was
he has a
not a
world's win.
musketeer.
What I will say is that Muskets has had like, I think you could maybe argue that it was BDIF in the format before EX12. The one like
In
the
25, yeah.
25 format. I think like Muskets is probably like at the tippy top. If not, like, it's like maybe fighting for first place with like two other buddies.
I think it's another beneficiary of a hindsight format where if people weren't literally being priced out, how much more would this deck have been played?
The deck had some counters, but what I will argue for Muskets is like it was pretty dominant from BT6 up until it was good in BT6, which was like its release, right? Like its modern, like BL cast 7 cost options. Like the deck was viable from that point, and like even in BT9, it changed its position from being best deck to being an Alphamon counter. So the deck was like, it was arguably one of the best decks in BT6, and then like it changed its position in BT9 to being an anti-meta pick because you could go like BLSR cast Nailbone, double Gazi, and like you had to put the Alphamon player on like a lot of resources to deal with it. But while it was good at dealing with Alphamon, it's struggling to some of the other into the other OTK decks and kind of had to rely on security a little bit, but it still occupied space.
What's even crazier is like we're gonna do all this talking. You remember when Guru X was at 4?
Yeah, this is what I was gonna say. This deck has popped up so many times. It had the Melga engine for a little bit, and then even at like right at the end of its lifespan, it was Shoto Mother D Reaper stuff, and they were using Shine B. Like all the way to like EX7, it was still relevant.
Yeah, so, it had some iterate, like it came back here and there. So for longevity's sake,
to call it that for Muskets.
Yeah, I think Muskets clears.
And again, they didn't cheat. So
yeah,
the next one is so easy. Just give it to Red Hybrid. Belphamon.
Yeah, Belphamon. Oh man, Belphamon. It's not even necessarily that it's just sad to watch. It's that like every time the Belphamon heads tell you that this is our year, it's the wrong 100%.
Yeah, if you're a big fan of Belphamon, it's okay. Luka Doncic will be showing up later under the form of APOC. He plays for a new team now, but like
Red Hybrid was best deck, arguably in 12 post Banlist. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, I think it was a contender in AD as well.
I think it was.
Sorry, not AD in RB, excuse me, I said the wrong thing. In RB format.
So 15?
Yeah, right before 15, like 14, 15.
It took like it was a good counter to Anubis, which was the true BDIF. So like I think it was in 12. It was a anti-meta pick against like Beelzemon. Post Banlist.
Its blue matchup was weird because Quartz could cook him.
Like it was like Quartz versus Crimson Blaze, right? It was like who drew what?
Yeah, because it played well. It played well into Bloom and Hunters.
It played well into a lot of stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. Like post Banlist in like kind of into 13, it was like secretly best deck in my opinion. I think there wasn't really like anything that could really wall it out, and it just kind of beat everything minus like Machine. Like one of the reasons you wouldn't bring Red Hybrid was because Machine was like super popular, and that was like your most horrible matchup. That was like super bad. 14, it was good. I think in 14, even though it was English JP format, I generally think the deck had a really, really good Mirage matchup, but people are so caught up by Mirage with trainings that people didn't experiment with Red Hybrid enough. It did have a top at Euros.
Yeah, if you're trying to one-bang people, you'd probably be on Fenrir, right?
I genuinely think, it also had a good Fenrir matchup. I genuinely think if we went back to 14 and people like tested beyond Fenrir and Mirage, Red Hybrid would have probably been the best deck in that format.
Saf would have
and
gotten a third regional if he wasn't fucking around with that dog.
And then in 15, EX, what, 5 was it?
Yeah, 5 was Anubis.
Anubis, it was anti-meta pick.
It was so good in EX5.
And then 15, it was, while Nume was the best deck in its pool, it was still one of the contenders in like the 15 format. You had like Mirage, you had Fenrir, Nume, Red Hybrid, Davis. It just kind of its position sort of like changed from like, oh, I don't want to see Machine to I don't want to see Davis.
Yeah.
You like really did not want to see Davis. That shit was horrible.
Unplayable. I'm down to call it for Mirage, for Red.
Yeah,
I'm only like adding so much context now because like I think
it will matter when we
have
do round
deeper
2.
run. Yeah.
We're calling it for Red Hybrid. Okay.
This is
Dorvic, OTK, and Cross. So this is
Royal Knights.
Oh, sorry, Royal Knights even, excuse me. Oh, okay, this is different for me.
Just put Royal Knights.
Yeah. So Dorvic has his things, but guys, it is one of those decks that if it was ever really going to be BDIF, it needed to win more regional.
Yeah, you need to be truly impure of heart to make it deep in a bracket with this thing.
I'm stamping it. Arcades. I mean, I expect Arcades to go kind of
Arcades is so good that you could be reading your cards at the event and still get top 16. Shoutouts to a friend of the show, DHM.
Many such cases.
He knew how to play it.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, I think Royal clears.
Cross and Red Omni.
Okay, so what I will say about Red Omni was that it wasn't the best deck in set 1. It was the best deck in set 2.
By a lot in set 2.
Maybe not by a lot, but like a little bit.
I think the gap jumps and it only really meets its first check until it sees Sarismon.
So the problem is like Saris was BDIF.
By a lot.
But then post Banlist, Red Omni
goes back.
Comes back. Red Omni, because it had Volcanic Dramon in color, it gave it a better Rookie Rush matchup. And that kind of like that plus the fact that like it had Alter S over Blue Omni kind of pushed it a bit. So you had like both Omnis.
Yeah.
And then
borrowing the DD Vault was broken.
Even in BT4, its legacy is like it's a little bit tough because like at that point like Cross DX was like out, and then like early like hybrid,
the Digiburst hybrid stuff was pretty good too. Like they be able to like the what's it called?
Well, actually, no. In BT4,
Rise Grade to spit out the tie, and then you could like extend for tie for lethal and stuff later. Like there were some points to that.
In BT4, it got a Goonie, so it got like old Red decks like had a Goonie to give them a bit more reach. But I think Cross being like a game killer just kind of,
Yeah. Obviously, this is Cross the layout. We're really just humoring the old man. Does the 5 checks Nejhamon end on Omni X do anything for Red Omni propaganda? Does it actually
are we talking about like Red Omni as like
it could be any kind of permutation. If you can make an argument for it being Red Omni, I'm cool with it.
I mean, it's a bunch of Greymon cards that are red, has Nejhamon as your bridge into Omni X.
Because when
I think it's different enough.
When I think Red Omni, I don't think War Greymon.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, that is fair.
The 10 play cost Phoenix, maybe.
They're like two different decks. So I think this is like coughing baby versus like Atomic Bomb, because like
we know it's Crossheart, right?
Well, we know it's Crossheart.
It is
fellas,
showing up.
I'm gonna stamp this. How many matches in are we? This is match 8. Crossheart's a finalist.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Alphamon versus Mickey. Yeah, we've hit the point in the video where we stop.
Yeah, all right.
Kill Machinamon.
Alphamon. Not for lack of trying for Machinamon, just not there.
Wow,
but
this is unfortunate.
I want to make a case here, gentlemen. We are not considering the underexplored in-fiction universe of Digimon Liberator, where they played the card game for real.
He lost that. He 0-1, by the way.
Yeah.
Or I guess it was like
Uh,
0.5 because like Shoto did have the extra security, but like imagine hacking the game and
Dude,
still losing.
Imagine losing to Zeph. Never mind.
Imagine losing to a guy that they needed to give him new cards in order to make him win.
Shine and Phoenix.
Ooh.
Shine begrudgingly.
I think Marcia is right.
Yeah.
Phoenix was never the best deck. It was always like a cook kind of deck. Like it took space in like
I think
EX6.
Gilbert's.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does Gilbert's? Is this not Gilbert's?
Okay,
I think that would count.
If we think about like the times that like Phoenix was good, right? It was like EX6. It was a decent counter to It was a decent counter to Demon Lords.
Sure.
In 16 against Nume, while it was like pretty rough, you could maybe squeak out like a win if the Nume opponent was like really bad and you high roll.
Yeah.
There was Ancient Gray Phoenix, which was like, I think
one of its best forms.
Yeah, when Trix got his like first breakout performance was with that version of the deck, and like it was good in that environment, but I think it was more like it was a player that none of his other decks were good because Terriermon was horrible.
Garbage.
So because of Ancient Greymon and like the interaction between like Ancient Greymon with like the bird package, it was like a combination of like a bunch of good things, right? And then finally like Steel Birds, that was, I still think, kind of like on like, this is like a cook territory. Like, this is like, you know, like a tier 2 deck that is like being piloted by like, you know, a world champion, a world's finalist. But like Shine, had
Shine has
BT2,
for me,
BT2 Shine. If we want to be, you know, if we want to do that,
I think it has the 13. One that jumps out to me is the Greymon X Shine Greymon builds.
We like never got.
Yeah, and then BT13 Shine.
BT13
Those are the
Shine.
two where I'm like, these are the most despicable.
JP
deck.
format where they had trainings.
Yeah.
Yeah, red. That was like red Shine, right?
That was like
Greymon X.
Right? There was a version that had 8 trainings.
In 14, it was like kind of around, but like not really. Like it didn't convert. Like, I mean, it was decent, but nothing crazy.
Sure.
It is now a potential non deck, but it has enough early results that you can kind of always be like, yo, but it could be the run this time.
So like I think it had like a really good format, which was like 13. And even then it wasn't quite BDIF, it was just the most popular deck. And then after that it was kind of
I'm happy to put this.
I think we're slightly downplaying BT12 Shine with Greymon X. Like that like ridiculous shit before it was one of the decks that prompted the April Fool's Day Greymon X ban.
Geogray is also on the ban list as well.
So much from like the 13 wave.
I don't know. It's been hit twice.
Sorry, not the 13 wave, the EX4 wave. Yeah.
It's been hit twice, arguably 3 times if you include Pada. I think there's something to be said for.
Oh yeah, never mind. Fuck the Patamon. I forgot.
Patamon make Geogray.
Yellow Vax Shine. No, I'm done. Forget it.
Yeah.
Puppets D Brigade.
Dude, this is Puppets free.
Okay, I was gonna say D Brigade looks real good here.
Yeah, it looks real good. D
Brigade is a demon from early Digimon, and it farmed alt formats.
So, what if we move the goalpost and
love it?
D Brigade is like a cockroach deck, where like it was like what BT4, and 5 and 6, like 4, 5, 6, even into like 9, it was like semi-playable. So it was a cockroach deck. So
I would say the last time I remember seeing it do anything was I believe it got top 8 at EX3 for our final Western DC1 event, which was London Brotherhood Games.
Oh, okay. So it was a cockroach deck in
all the way till 2024.
It was a cockroach deck from release up until then Ultimate Cup monocolor format. It was okay.
And in was it regulation or something?
The regulation battle.
Format.
It was BDIF in that format.
No, it lost to Blue Rookie Rush.
No,
Tom, the event that we're both thinking of where it farmed Jambo off screen
It was very funny.
It was won by Yor on Blue Vidramon Unsuspend. It didn't even win that event.
Oh, like the block event?
Yeah, the block event was won randomly by Blue Rookie Rush Vidramon Unsuspend. It was very funny to see D Brigade specifically, you know, Looney Tunes.
It had all
Jambo.
the RB reprints as well.
Yeah, it had the
and
RB
also
stuff.
it was like a store tournament promo or something.
Right.
Okay,
And
but
then-
is Puppets not just the most carried by Nyaramon deck in history?
No, I think it did pretty well outside of Nyaramon as well. You've also got to remember it says Puppets, which means Kageyamon, Systemon, like I'm gonna kill you and float 12 times, Mr. Tricks on the sticks.
What I will say is like then we have like BT14 where like it got like Brigadramon.
Yeah, that
while
wave
it
was legit.
wasn't particularly good, it was okay. I think it just had a lot of players, but it was
a legit Fenrir matchup.
It was a deck.
It was like a tier 2 deck.
Yeah, you have to account for it. I think it's one of those ones that I actually think that
Puppet has a bigger peak. It's like peak versus like how long it was around for.
It's peak, it's newer, so I'll
give you that.
It's more competitive format, and also like it doesn't really have any duds, whereas D Brigade has felt more and more confused the longer the game has gone on. So whilst it does have some excellent peaks, the longer it goes, the more I'm like. Ugh.
But Puppets was like
this is a
was it BDIF in its format? It wasn't, right? It was like a top 3 deck maybe in its format, like Puppets. I'm only accounting for what was the set at the beginning of the year? The Time Stranger set,
24.
like 20.
BT24 Time Stranger.
Yeah.
That's when Puppets got its like the things that I needed for the OTK, which was a Sandry with Alliance, right?
No, that was EX11.
Was it?
Yeah, it's just that
the Liberator stuff, the last Liberator set.
It was the emblem. It was Rondo. That was the box.
Oh, from 22. Yeah.
Well, no.
Oh, sorry. The pro. You're talking about the box topper.
Narrative Round.
Yes.
Sorry, narrative round. So
that was a box topper in EX11. So it was right at the end of 24.
11. No, it was the second stage one, so it had to be 24, right?
It was a box topper. The BT24 box toppers were
B team box topper.
There was a reason why the deck was like really good in 24 and not 11, and I can't remember.
Sure? I swear to God, it was. I swear it was a box topper along with the alt art for Kageyamon from EX11.
I think Tom is right. I just need to go back to
because the box toppers for Time Stranger were Millenniumon, Digilab.
Oh really?
Oh sorry. EX11 is after Time Stranger.
Yeah, it came out because Medusa had 2 waves like in 1 month, and everyone was upset about that back at the time. So Bristol format, the format that Puppets won was an early 80 format, but nobody was on anything AD. So like,
Imperial Dramon bubbled.
Yeah, like it was like a bunch of bubbles, like Red Hybrid bubbled.
No, Red Hybrid made the top 16.
Sorry, like lost in like made top 16, but like didn't go further.
Did not do what Puppets did.
Yeah, like
we got 3 Puppets in top 16.
Okay. Yeah, so it was that way.
Top 4 at Worlds.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have to address the Korova in the room here.
Yeah, you know what? Because of the fact that it won a regional, well, it might have won other regions, but that we know in UK, you know, for our metrics that we care about.
Dude, it's really unfortunate that Ancient Greymon got, Royal Academy hit Zeus in round 1 of the Football Frontier. This is fucking travesty.
Even better though, this is Agaru. So would it be a misplay for game video if we didn't condemn Agarumon to die? Fuck that chud. It's a bum deck. It's never been. Everyone pretends it's better than it is. The only time it's ever been the optimal dude to do is like the Galaxy pick up the security loop that Henny played that one time.
Also, best of 1 Glasgow format. That shit was crazy.
Oh yeah,
Security pops out of security.
But
Pokemon,
guys. Yeah, this is
Pokemon killed the game.
Ooh, speaking of kill the game, we've got.
I think Beals clears. And I know Tom wants to argue Lilith Loop, but I think Beelzemon is just
MDF.
so much more dumb.
All formats Lilith Loop, Marcio.
MDF, bro.
All time Lilith Mon.
I genuinely think you could bring back MDF and it wouldn't be the best deck in the format.
Today?
Yeah.
You'd give MDF back today.
Yeah, and I don't think Lilith Loop would win every single tournament. Because for me to give you back MDF, it also implies that like you would get like the dog package, which you're not getting.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
We did lose a lot of draw 1 trash 1.
like purple has changed its identity so much from what it was to now that I think
I
like
think you could make a little sleep work with Gizmons. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think it's enough. I think Gilzamon was more dominant during like its like period, and like also they
Heels
both
has
had like
been good longer.
yeah, like apart from their peaks, it's like has Lilithloop done anything ever again? And like BT14, right? That was when the last time that
The
like
training's Lilith, yeah.
Lilith.
Like Milith.
Yeah, Milith is crazy too. But
Yeah, Lilith. It's Lilith Loop. If it was Lilithmon on her own, I think there maybe be more standing that she once again gets to ride the coattails of Leviamon, because you know the Vole and Zadrakan
Yeah, but
package,
Loop
like that
specifically.
shit won a regional. But
mhm.
Yeah.
Beelzemon, I think, was just more dominant. It
Yeah,
was
this
like
is Beelze.
near tier 0.
I'll give it to Beals.
this one's heavy hitters, man.
Oh, this is good. This one's really good.
I think Meggy is the beneficiary of. He is one. I love that deck, and I'm not gonna downplay it. It was the best deck by a lot, but it's the most right place, right time deck I've ever seen in Digimon's history. And the minute it faced adversity, it died out.
It lost the control decks pretty badly.
Yeah, immediate loss. Numemon had to be shot twice.
I think there's also something that
Wait, no,
really...
sorry. I was arguing for Nume. I was saying that like Nume lost the control decks pretty badly. I don't know the same for Meggy.
Dude, Meggy's hard matchup was Galacti. It's why you won a store regional.
No, but Meggy lost the other shit. Like,
It lost the other shit, but it lost to control.
If you were like at the like if you were the other regionals that like I was at, and like when people started figuring out that like playing like the slower paced decks was like the way to like actually beat Maggie, because like its first push was scary, but it was never an OTK. So all the other control decks drive it off of like, okay, they've done their thing. This is like I now have clear green light to establish my wall, and the deck like kind of really struggled to beat the it struggled to beat like Tyrant, it struggled to beat Angels, it struggled to beat Imperial.
Angels was so bad.
Ganku, Ganku fucking
Turtle
Ganku. It was like Maggie was like really good because of like simultaneous release, and like so people didn't know. Like,
dude, Maggie,
it was the most simultaneous release like baby ever. It was like, oh, you don't know.
It's the right place, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Right place, right time.
Dude, Meggy wasn't even the best player on the team. Bro got cut later on.
Yeah, TAD.
Yeah, eventually, like, yeah, you're right. It then got like cut for like the dog loop and whatever, like, you know.
Yeah, dude, keep Meggy in the first round. Let's get Nume into the front.
Okay, I thought somebody was arguing like for.
No.
It's a banger matchup. I just don't think Meggy has the chops.
Okay.
Yeah. Blue Omni and Hoodie, fellas. That's not even engaged.
Yeah, it's Hoodie.
Sorry, gang.
Medusa
Hoodie's
Gallant.
so good. It's the reason we're making this video.
This one's good. Medusa Gallant.
It's not that good, boys. Gallantmon's absolutely taking this round. It's not particularly close.
Really?
I don't think it's particularly close at all. Medusa's got one particularly important accomplishment.
Second place at Worlds.
Which is one World.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. No,
the time changers in the finals, which is a good feat. I'm not going to go and say that's not important
peak. That's the kind of peak.
That's the peak we're talking about, right?
Right, like you're not beating its peak.
Yeah, except maybe when we look at Gallantmon has almost 4 years of this thing now. You know what I mean? There are very few decks on here that have been good this long, and it gets to operate under elite gogglehead privilege. There are decks that get away with it. Basically, from BT9 on, this was a deck that would show up in a top 16.
Did Medusa also get a Nats win in NA, or did it get second place?
I believe it got second place.
Okay, bro, Gallantmon has a win at every level of Digimon except Worlds.
Yeah.
Medusa won Worlds, though.
Medusa won Worlds, yes. Where's Medusa today?
Yeah, it won in a...
Still seeing play.
I'm going to work the underexplored sneaky components of this, which is that Gallantmon and all his little cronies also had TDID. So while Gallantmon X OTK good stuff was good, or while Biomerge Staccato stuff was underwhelming at times, but still showed up in top 16s just by law of large numbers. Because when you're that popular, you're kind of the guy. It still then had like undefeated perfects, like it farmed GAOs, it farmed finals. It was first place at NA finals, first place at EU finals, multiple time regionals. Like it's just
Henny
you can't
won
beat the
an
breadth
online
on this.
thing with no tamers, you know, just
Yeah.
straight doo-doo Gallantmons, 4 boosts, 3 training, and it was enough. Like this, like Medusa won in a kiddie pool format where everyone got kiddie pool worlds format where everyone was building for a deck that didn't even show up. Yeah, it won worlds that time when everyone was getting ready for Zephagamon, the fraud of all frauds. Meanwhile,
Okay, so,
Gallantmon
like-
has been putting belt to ass for 4
years.
Dude, he got hit. You know, Medusa's not even so much of a
We
problem.
talk about
It didn't
Garurumon
even
on the
get
ban list.
It didn't even get touched on this most recent ban list. Whereas you know who did because they knew he was still going to be a menace in the Big 26? Gallantmon.
But that's because like one of its cards like broke containment. It was generic.
Oh, sorry, you're gonna have to be more specific. I think Rush Gilmon, Growlmon X, Hell Medigallant.
The thing is, like, they like having Medusa around. They
They
clearly
do.
like
I'm
it.
not knocking that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I don't-
She's great
They
for the
like
game.
Medusa so much, Gallantmon stole progress.
But it
Gallantmon was
won
doing-
worlds though.
Yeah, it won world.
It
won
Okay, but like
it
you're
won a
comparing
world.
like somebody that just came onto the field. You're comparing like fucking Laminia Mall versus like Messi. It's like, come on,
Yes,
bro.
and I think Lionel Messi is a better player. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's been playing for longer. Let the boy
I should have been
play.
born in 1980, Chud. Welcome to this next round, Gallantmon.
Yeah, no, I think this is a Gallantmon one, bro. I get it. Medusa, you know, she's really she
it's
could be
such
the
a sad
future of the
place.
NBA,
Yeah.
but we're in the
Such a-
now.
That's the Victor Wembanyama right there, gang. It will. Well, actually, no. It's probably not going to get another card until it gets a promo. So, yeah, it'll be a toughie, but we'll see.
Oh, you put them side to side, Medusa would smoke Gallant. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But that's the plan Z, Marcio. We haven't even talked about Aura.
Well,
2-star Gallantmon X is one of the prettiest cards I've ever seen in my entire life.
that's okay. It has more aura because they keep drawing it. You don't think that like if people
Hell yeah,
draw
they
it,
Dude,
do.
we've never even gotten a Grani. Just think that he's actually. It's like if we only were rating Piccolo on Aura and you never gave him the cape. He's actually holding back in the Aura department for the rest of us.
but like Owen's world champ.
Dude, Owen lost to
So-
Galactimon. He's not even the world champ. He in the current
Was-
iteration of Liberator is second place.
But it won worlds though, and Galmon didn't win worlds. So you know,
Yet.
All
True.
right,
Do you know
gang.
what? Ooh.
He'll
Wait,
start
how's
Omni.
Billstar? Damn, she's
I
so
guess
good she
Billstar
got
snuck in
two.
twice.
She's so
Okay,
good she
we
got
just
two.
we move Omni then. We just move Omni.
Congratulations, Omnimon.
Wow, shout out to the round one bye. The top player didn't show up. That's crazy. Gabu.
Gabubon versus Venmon.
Fuck.
Easy Venmon. Easy
Over
Venmon.
Gabu Bond?
Yeah, easy.
I kind of agree with him.
Galacti was arguably like best deck in one of its formats. Still sees play today, so longevity wise, you
Mhm.
know, unfortunately, its card scaled a bit better.
Mhm.
Yeah. And, like Gabubon was like
I'm trying to
One
make
of
an
the best
argument for
decks?
like feats. Like I think has Galactic ever won a Nats?
Yes. Australia,
no,
right?
No, I don't. Think.
It's gotten first in Swiss a bunch of times. If we'll throw out some bail, it got like first in Swiss in like 2 European regionals back to back, and then lost in Top Cut to like Bears.
Gabubon was like pretty dominant in its period, and also like it had a second win in like BT15 because of the BT15 like Rumon support.
Yeah,
And,
if you and Harry didn't hit each other round 3, I think that ship would have had a top 8.
Fucking what was the card called? The option that they played. That card was crazy.
Rattlestar,
No, Ice.
DB Thunder?
No, Ice something. Ice Fox.
Ice Fox.
Oh yeah.
Ice
or-
no, it's not Ice Archery.
Ice Wolf something.
I think it's Ice Fox. No, it's not Ice Fox.
It's got Gabumon on it. Or Garurumon on it.
Who's gonna find it first?
If you search Garurumon, it'll come up because it says Garurumon in the card.
It's Foxfire.
Foxfire, thank you. Yeah, that card is pretty
Good
crazy.
card. Yeah, man, it worked on Gabumon too. All right, you know what? I mean, that does make it feel better, but Venmon's kind of that though, right?
Yeah, I think it's,
Venmon just
I think
beats
it's
it.
Venmon.
Man, I'd like to be Primkage there.
I'm
Could've
sorry.
pulled it
You know
back.
who needs to go next. Just
just
put
put
the
Magna.
friends in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
put the
yeah.
friends in the
You see-
bag.
Magna is
Magna
an
wasn't even that,
unfortunate
and Loki
thing.
wasn't even that good.
Yeah. Grandis
Do you know
and
who
Yellowback.
was that good though? Yellowback. What you think? You see that number 7 seed over there? That's because someone wasn't paying attention when they were drafting out teams. Yellow Vaccine was the actual problem. Do you know how many people from Yellow Vaccine are on the ban list right now? Count them up. We got Nyaramo. We got Patamon. We got
Geogravon.
You got
Geogramon.
TK.
We got TK. We
TK.
got
They shot the coach.
Blinding Ray.
Blinding Ray. We got fucking the Awakening of the Golden Knight. Brother, we got seven rings, 7 ban list entries. Move it fucking
the
onwards.
the only thing I'll say about Grandis is like Yellow, they both I think had like a format where they were like, I would argue that in BT9 Grandis was the best deck. That's just me though. I think the deck had like a good matchup into Garuru.
Yeah, I think
Next time.
Grandis was the sneaky best guy. It could be up there.
It just wasn't as good in EX3.
It also had a price cap, which was funny because of the promo.
Yeah, it wasn't as good in EX3 because the metagame was a bit more wide, but like in its like peak, which was BT9, I think it was in contention for best deck. But
Wasn't
I think
it good into BWGX as well.
it was.
Yeah, it was very good.
Was that EX? I don't remember.
But
what
that was BT11. In
But
11,
by that point, the game had changed. The like Crossheart was back to
it
being.
was okay into Crossart, but like when it then from like what I would say, the only time that I could confidently say that it was one of the best decks in my opinion, right? People can disagree, was BT9, and then any time after that, it was like an anti-meta pick.
It was like you're playing RPS, but like if Scissors has been nerfed pretty heavily and sometimes randomly lost the paper.
It wasn't even Scissors got
No,
nerfed. Rock got
it's like
buffed.
it's like Rock got buffed and Scissors cost $10 more.
But like it was still a green deck, so like
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this one's legit hard. Purple Hybrid and Takemika.
Purple Hybrid.
See, I think that too, but Takemika's a monster.
Yeah, that it's really, really hard to say. But did Takemika win anything massive?
It won a couple regionals, certainly.
Yeah, but so did
But
Purple
so
Hybrid.
did Purple Hybrid.
It won.
We should really get like more stats for these because like we can only recount.
Absolutely no rehearsal.
You know,
no
I would
research.
love to have.
Did you hear when I said I was the Stephen A. Smith of Badger?
I would love to have more stats videos, but I need my stats team to start providing stuff for my script for these videos that take way too long to edit.
I can tell you that Purple Hybrid has more tops in China because it won all of these Super Tamer. It won 4 Super Tamer battles in a row, which was crazy. A feat that basically, like, Red Hybrid and Purple Hybrid kind of just got this clout over there where they were like, yeah, we'll keep doing the same thing. Was a huge deal. But Takemika won NA finals, I believe. And it won I
don't know that it did, because then my Fraudry Lugomon narrative would be a lot harder to maintain. I think that shit beefed it in finals. I think it has a second place.
Oh, it might have a second
Because
place.
I'm the number
Yeah,
one
it might have a
Takemika
second
hater,
place.
so you know I was popping off for an
might have
NA
a second
original
place.
where it bricks.
Also, Purple Hybrid is like that, like still reinvents itself. Like granted, like they hit Takemika like pretty hard. Like they had to hit it in a way
They
where
broke
like
its leg, yeah.
so in terms of like longevity, like Purple Hybrid, you know, if we were to, you know, it kind of takes that cake.
Yeah, I'll be real. Anyone that clicked on this
was-
video and saw Takemika knew that it was not making it past round 1, as long as I remembered who my number 1 op was.
Takemika was never like BDIF. It was like very good, but it was never BDIF partly because like Mirage occupied its same spot, so it was like 2 like really like high power decks like
I agree.
taking over, and like even in I mean genuinely I think that's actually it. Like when we look at like Takemika, it was never allowed to be the best deck because Mirage was also there.
Purple Hybrid got shot in the back of the wood chipper right before unification because of the Matashita Impmon loop stuff. It was already basically the best deck in the game before that, and then it had an infinite. It stole every purple toolbox card they could play because hybrid decks aren't restricted. It was the best mill deck. It was
had all
the best option. Yeah,
should have won the LATAM regional.
Mhm.
I mean, it went 15-0 before it lost in finals.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Purple Hybrid is like one of like
Purple Hybrid is a premier like all timer.
We do
like
talk
a Hall of Famer.
We joke about some decks being like drunk drivable, but like Purple Hybrid is legitimately proven to be drunk drivable to a second place.
It's true.
Shout outs to Misplay Mercenary.
BWG is a Hall of Famer, and Mallow will be a bum that we don't talk about in a year.
I mean, I don't know. I think like Mallow is like now. I used to kind of like not like it so much. I thought it was like
Mallow has his own sneakers now, so we have to pretend we think he's that guy. But just because he's different and quirky does not mean he has the highs.
What I will say is that to me, Mallow has a special place in my heart as like the purple deck that like wasn't just like slop and like actually
it's truly
its own engine.
archetype. Yeah.
I thought his engine was really cool.
But if your feat is getting cards restricted for an infinite loop and Digidane getting clipped on stream, can you be a BDIF?
No, I'm just saying that I like Mallow. Like I like what Mallow is
I like
now.
Mallow too. I like that you stick two of the new ones together and they make an Omnimon.
I don't like that.
Are we any opposition to BWG? Because he's the guy.
Black was best. Like when we talk about
maybe
best decks in format.
Best deck ever. So.
We'll see.
This was one of my. This is a semifinals in my head. I'm not gonna lie to you, gang. Oh, this is a tough one. Holy crap!
Levia wins.
I think Levio gets. So I'm gonna make
this
an
video
argument here.
is so dated because BT26 legitimately could have,
changed everything.
Yeah,
right?
Saris could have made it way further if this came out in like 2 weeks.
I'm not gonna account for like Bacchus Saris because like that's not like what this. I mean,
we don't know for sure.
All history, Marcio. Sarismon's getting another shot at life here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't get it shot soon enough. So
the reason why we're putting Saris on the board is because of like BT2, like BT4 Saris. Like,
BT4 Saris.
Like the first the
HPD desorption.
This was the second best deck in the format after Blue Omni. So
but Levia's argument. Leviamon famously never won Worlds, but also its peaks aren't as.
It topped American Nats twice.
Yes.
It got second place. It won one.
But Sarismon doesn't have this because they killed it fast enough.
What?
And Sarismon's argument against longevity and its achievements is that it died to. It's like, does the COVID Lakers ring count? You know what I mean? Like Sarismon is being contextualized by the way the game was different back then. That's Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 fucking points.
Okay, what I will say, I think all the way up to like maybe even like, actually, if it was unhit with all the buffs that it got, like how long would Saris be?
I think Saris would have beaten the Bonds.
Yeah, because it would also.
I think it had a spotty Lord Knight situation occasionally.
The problem with Saris was that it kind of struggled to kill when the game started ramping up just a tiny bit in terms of like your barometer to like how fast you had to kill, because Lord Knight didn't necessarily just put like a bunch of things on board.
Sure. I'll give you that one.
Like BT6 was like decks have like defined kill clocks, right? That was like Jesmon, Bonds,
Diaboro in EX11 or sorry,
EX1. Like when a kill clock like truly started to matter was like you either like nearly one shot or not. Now, the thing with Saris is that like if Saris was to exist post Blitz Omni, I don't know if it would like make it, because so much of Saris was that like you promoted into it, it cleared you, and then like it never let go of the board.
Yeah.
But like it didn't have any like interaction beyond like blockers and the Terriermon.
Mm-hmm.
So like a deck that was able to like maybe like kill its blocker and then like 5-check Blitz Omni, maybe like
Shoutmon, exactly, basically.
Or like Jesmon, even like in BT6. And like
they could pick enough defensive stuff for Jesmon though. I think Jesmon really could only interact with meaningfully with that one first body.
I think it would maybe struggle into it would maybe like struggle with like, would it struggle with the Bonds?
I think it could take the Bonds.
You don't
Tamer hate at the time was lessened, and Matt and Ty were crazy, but like the thing that came out of Raising was not like a sitter for going all the way to face. Like Gabubon could do. I think you could make enough stuff on board to conceivably stop Gabubon, and Gabumon's taxing its own 2 security would have mattered for Sarismon.
When did Crimson Blaze come out?
BT8.
Okay.
So it has at least, but I think it's, just to be clear, I don't think it could have handled blue hybrid. I think that's where I'm like, there's no way.
Like, I don't think it would go further. Like, it does not have the damage to deal with like yellow and blue hybrid.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it just couldn't do it.
We're putting a cap on like BT7, and it's like, I think that it could hang in BT5 thanks to like Nidhoggmon.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nidhogg being an answer to Lord
God,
Knight.
that would have been, and again, the Digizorb stuff, like, it's not paying for anything.
Yeah, like Digiburst plus Digizorb, like,
yeah,
there's probably ridiculous. Like something there.
Are we assuming, by the way, when we're talking about this, is like with it when it goes without being hit, that means it kept 4 HBD too, right?
Yeah.
4 HBD,
okay,
4 Blossom for Argo.
It would have had Blossom. It would have had Blossom. It's
it didn't just Blossom until years later.
Yeah, but they also would have had Argo, no? Because Argo got hitless.
No, yes. That's what I mean. Argo is more important than Blossom because it would have had Blossom no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel pretty strong. I said at the start that Saris is Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 in a game, and I mean that. But I don't think it's not a 1-to-1, right? Like Wilt wouldn't score 100 today. He'd score 60.
What I will say is that I think if left untouched, it would probably win like, I know the first Worlds was like BT6, no?
BT7 release-ish. Like it was like.
Was it on BT6? The first
remember,
Worlds?
I feel like there was hybrids in that first World.
Well,
hybrids were BT4.
Yeah, we had.
Sorry. I mean like Tommy Hemes.
I'm willing to accept that like Saris would go as far as like 6, and I think it would stop at 7.
Okay, but if it's the best deck in the game comfortably until from BT3 to BT6, with not really, I mean, maybe some contesting, I think it's still an argument.
Would it be the best deck?
And that's not, again, this is all Sarismons too, right? We know Saris Bacchus, like, if Gear Forest was a viable enough option in context today to have been a playable card, like, Henny has 2 uncut sheets from Sarismon and Olympus deck.
Well, Olympus decks, he wasn't really on Saris for that first uncut sheet. He was for the second.
What I will
that doesn't
say,
fit my agenda, so I'm ignoring you.
What I will say is that, like, I think Levia is like a more like accounted for like quantity.
If Wilson wasn't such a dork and had just won the world championship, this would be easier, but he fucking lost.
So we can just be boring and like, yeah, Levia goes through, or we can be, you know, Misplay for game inflammatory behavior like we always do, and we put Saris through. And
we're gonna pretend that Marcia wasn't also abusing Levia for months. Dude, Levia is also.
I have a top 32 with Levia. You know what I mean? Like this shit's just, it's that kind of deck.
Dude, we've been talking about Levia in other decks in order to boost their shit up. We cannot have Levia exit in the first round.
You're right.
Yeah, like I think the correct answer is Levia. I think it's funny to entertain what if Saris had HBD.
Yeah, it's that. But then also think how many decks get to exist because they tripled down on trying to kill Levia.
Yeah.
Like, think how many times you would get, like, TS Megazoo was like, yeah, I'm gonna play Factorial Air and play. I do, I'm like, word, die.
I'm putting it through.
You get to eat 2 Volcanus protections in one go off of a single Levia. Yeah, I think I will, actually.
Okay,
so get in the comments and let us know what you think, by the way.
Well, yeah, do we think that how far Saris could go? That's like what.
Do you agree with me and Marcy, or are you wrong? Is the other
so Levia was like good on release because you could splash it into Anubis. It was a counter to Nume and one or
15 superstar,
yeah. In 16, 17
it got Levia X and it beat Imperial.
Yeah, like it was just Emogged Imperial. So I think it was like secretly like one of the best decks, if not like best deck.
I think it was the best deck in 16.
16, 17.
Magna matchup was
17 was on especially.
Yeah.
Because that's when it got the regular Dober. Because we were missing a regular Dober, and I think it got that in 17. A Dober and a Serb.
Yeah.
The retail Dober, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then it was still good into like the Demon Lords. It was good into
it's had waves, man.
It's also good in Demon Lords.
Also EX7, like what? Why? EX7 was the Demon Lord set, right?
Yeah, it was Demon Lords.
EX6 was Demon Lords, but it was the
7
same
was
year.
Liberator.
7 was
Sorry,
Liberated.
7 was Liberated. It was good into there. It was good all the way up until like Hoodie. Like Levy is like an all-timer deck.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Second place at Nats.
Second place at Worlds.
But first at Nats, technically.
Bloom, Alter S.
I gotta be honest with you.
Are you for
if we're talking
Omnimon Alter S? Because like you know what I'm gonna say.
I gotta be honest with you guys. This is in the discussion we've maintained of aura, peaks, and valleys. Bloom has so much of all of those three things. We let ourselves get convinced that it was going to be something good out of the DM teasers, and like that was a letdown. This guy has no anime feats. He was a dude who showed up in Ghost Game occasionally. Like, he's in none of the games. He's in none of the shows. Or sorry, none of the movies. He is a card game guy. And Alter S, when we talk about peaks and valleys, Alter S, yes, is abusing the shit out of being in a good position right now. But Bloom's peaks are still higher than Alter S's peaks.
Yeah, like, I think Bloom also, if you include the monocolor ulti cups that we were talking about, Bloom has probably some formats in the UK at least that were like tier 0, like 40% representation.
Johnny Lowe averaged 8th place in 2023.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, Marcio, you're prepping for a fight that like I don't think me and Tom are gonna give you. Like straight up, like
I have one exception because I think about these things.
Okay.
We gassed up Red Omni a little bit earlier. Does the BT3 format with the Saris, or sorry, needing to interact with Saris and that being the only deck that was even comparable? It was a tier lower, but it's comparable. Is Red Omni with Omnimon Alter S from BT2 even worth talking about? I think it matters, but not enough to make it Bloom. I just don't. I want it to be. Oh, it's not Lakers in 5. You know, we're having a series here.
Yeah, I think it's not in 5, but I think this is a handy dandy Bloom win, bro.
Bloom is fun on this because it's also the only other deck on here that, despite how much I think it's crazy, I think Bloom is the first guy on here that is going through, but it's not like it's arguably the best guy in its color.
It's in a miserable side of the bracket.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad time. Blue Hybrid and Yellow Vac.
This is Blue Hybrid,
Jesus Christ.
Oh wait, Yellow Vac.
No,
sorry, that was supposed to say Armor Vac.
No, Armor Vac was
Yellow Vaccine.
I thought we No.
Congratulations, Blue Hybrid, on going through
Blue
on a
Hybrid
technicality.
goes through. Woo.
Yeah, sure, that works. I could, honestly, when I was doing the thing about Yellow Vaccine above, I thought that was Armor Vac.
Okay, so Setcon, when the Setcon die, 16, right, with partition.
Yeah, really partition 16. Like, I'm not focused again.
That was like
I crashed out so hard thinking about security control.
We can quantify that security control died on BT16 release.
Which is conveniently when Imperial got an entirely new massive wave.
That being said, Setcon has a Worlds win. So where do we draw our line in the sand for what counts as good enough for a Worlds win or not, right?
I also think Imperial has some problems with it flubbed a bunch of NA regionals, right? Like it got really close and didn't finish it.
Yep. It does have is it Niagara regionals where it was one or it's like 60% of
doesn't have a second place at Worlds as well.
Yes,
does Imperial have a second place at Worlds?
Yes, it was Imperial lost to Galaxy.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
In terms of these are
Second one Worlds though.
Yeah. What I will say, so they both have a Worlds feat, which is good, right? In terms of like they've both been on
Worlds
the World
finalists,
stage.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is that these decks have both been maybe around for as long as each other because Imperial was in BT2.
Yeah.
Imperial was pretty good in BT2 and was playable up until before it got its BT8 stuff. Before
it really fell off after like Bonds, right? Like before. I think you draw your line in BT5 is where I'd leave it.
5-6 is like the next kind of like it's kind of gimmicky at that point.
Yeah.
So then BT8 post Banlist, it was objectively the best deck.
Mm-hmm.
Not by a large margin, but I think it was like objectively the best deck.
Setcon was in that conversation at the time too, though. That's one of the other things. It had lost Reinforced by then.
Yeah, like we're going
but
through
like yeah.
So then BT8 was good. BT9 Imperial still saw some results.
Yeah, the problem is it started to get dwarfed massively by blue and yellow hybrid is kind of the problem for me. It was like at a local and lower level, the deck was incredibly dominant, but then when you started looking at what the best players were taking to like that online regional format, it was blue hybrid mirrors.
Yeah, by the time
I'm talking about like Imperial got good in BT8 post the hybrid nerfs.
Yeah,
but even post hybrid nerfs, blue hybrid was still like. Do you remember the online regionals? Like you're like, oh, this is going to be Imperial's format. You check top 8, it's 6 blue hybrids.
Then I'm trying to account for like Imperial before, like, okay, it got in 9
from 9 on it basically wasn't a factor.
In 9 it like just about was able to like rush down quick enough, like some of the
you could
OTK
occasionally
decks.
kill an Alphamon
if you didn't check all their 12.
And then in 12 when it got its
it was all right.
Yeah,
12 it was okay. Memory printing stuff.
Yeah.
The concept of like the memory printer was like maybe there, but that was like a dedicated group of idiots like us that like believed in it, and then it lost. 5. Yeah, like it stopped doing anything, and then it comes around in 16, and then that's basically like the opposite of like Setcon, where like when you look at Setcon, it like popped up in like BT4, it popped up in like BT9, BT6, BT9, it popped up. EX5. It was not good during Black or Greymon format. Well, it was
all right. It had by that point it had Chaos Degrade, so it was like able to contest.
Black or Greymon had protection.
Not to Chaos Degrade.
It had option protection.
No, sorry.
The
Yuya Kuga did. It was to hand or deck.
Oh, right. Even the bottom deck. Yeah, right. You have to like kind of tech for it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think like Greymon could like maybe eventually like kind of get there. At least like Black or Greymon was like more dominant than Setcon.
I think AD won. I think the Sydney win or Melbourne, whichever Aussie regional it was, helps its case a lot. Because I was gonna say that this deck's been kind of fraudulent and it's kind of just like not won anything despite its huge legacy. But I kind of forgot that 81 Imperial. Funny enough, going back to Memory Printer, it did pick up a regional win in the Big 2-6, which as much as I know that Pete has been messing around with this deck, it's not like
there's also Armor Imperial to talk about.
Yeah, there's also Armor Imperial. But what I want to say is that like one deck got end of serviced by another deck getting its support.
Okay, I hear you.
Right, like Setcon died when one, well, not just Imperial, but like because of partition.
Sure.
Setcon died that day.
These are great points, and I agree a ton. I think there are most things can be said about Imperial being. Remember we were talking about elite gogglehead status earlier. Basically, as elite as it gets. This is good company. But Marcio, could you I just want to check with you really, because I'm not the best at math.
Also won regionals.
Yeah, you're usually pretty quick on this with me compared to me, especially. Do you? And I can never remember. Is the gold medal better than the silver medal, or have I got that backwards?
Okay. If we're talking about like worlds specifically,
I see things on a global stage.
No. Okay, because in that format, right? It's like a triangle format where like I think the Setcon player like Loki got lucky because Levia X. This was what BT15, right?
Yeah.
So it was the set before Imperial became its notorious a notorious deck. And Setcon beat like Levia X, and like Levia X eventually became like an Imperial counter.
Yes.
So like Setcon never had to contend with like modern Imperial.
Also, if we're talking like the COVID Lakers ring, are we going to talk about the most egregious tiebreaker rules that don't make any fucking sense?
You're right.
The only reason that we get to have this conversation is because somehow tiebreaker rules allowed for time tiebreaker into now we're even, so we will play an additional tiebreaker third game that Frozen threw. You know, like that was Bandai going, Yeah, we fucked this one up, but we really
So like it's
fucked up our
when
tournament organization rules more.
it's when it is kind of fraudulent and like shaped the rest of the other worlds where like Imperial got its like second place like fair and square.
Right, but when you talk about New Yorkers getting fraudulent wins and taking that trophy home, we do not discredit the New York Knicks for Boston being injured, the Pacers being injured, the Lakers falling apart. None of that matters.
Okay, but Second literally stopped existing when Imperial got its modern support. Like,
Yeah, and
the
Jeremy
fact that
Lin ended Linsanity, and that was the
Like,
end of the run.
both decks got to exist around the same time, and they were kind of like this, where like sometimes one was better than the other, and then we get partition and Setcon disappears.
I am more likely to give Imperial this literally just because of the 81 win. If it didn't win that regional, I'd actually put Secon on top. I think it having a recent win helps for the longevity, consistency, BDIF argument.
It lost its niche. Like Secon just as like it.
Watch Pete win something like right after this thing comes out. He'd be on some slop. Speaking of slop, the poster. Oh my gosh, these are both slop decks. Wait,
Just you know what you're supposed to do.
yeah, put Olympus 12.
Yeah, just move Olympus.
Please buy
gang.
product.
Well, nobody's trying to argue for Hunters.
Wait, what is time? Oh, son of a. Yeah,
Wait, what?
put Time Strangers on there as well.
We're not giving Gamamon the win, right?
Yeah, give put Time Strangers on there as well.
Was
That's a different deck.
never anything.
Okay. I'm cool
Any
with that.
version of Time Stranger, the worst Time Stranger deck you can think of beats
I can't
Gamma.
watch. You guys have to do this one without me.
This is
It's
Sakuyamon.
weird. I mean, I want it to be down. Like Alcubon was like not even a diff. It was like an anti-meta deck.
Yeah, no, this is.
Well, at least that was easy.
This is Sakuyamon.
It
All
was Sakuya.
Up to the top. Wait, this is single of them. How many? Okay, we got some.
Yeah.
We can.
We can start.
We'll be done so quick here, boys. We're killing this.
This is a.
Oh, we have the buys now need to get addressed, but everything out there, that's fine. All right, Demon Lords and Mastemon. I don't think this is close. I think KDA and Maste blows the shit out of the water.
Yeah.
KDA Maste was playing Bellatra when everybody else was playing fucking Euchre.
I think 7DLs also was just an objectively worse arcades. I think
it did one thing better, which is ruin looping.
it did ruin loop,
Yeah.
but it also lost to bounce like a motherfucker.
Maste can always Maste on average can always kind of like play the game. Demon Lord, if it didn't have like a deck that like the Rune Loop like actually hurt it, was kind of okay.
Sure. All right, I'm cool with that. Fuck that.
Yeah, Mass Day 3.
Maste wins that
Galaxy
one.
clears.
Maste 1-0.
Galaxy clears.
Galaxy clears, absolutely. I think Galaxy is Galaxy's still gonna fall flat on its face in the long term, but I think
Right
it's a
now it
contender for going
clears.
for a run. Yeah,
Muskets clears.
really over Lord Knight.
I think this is.
I think Lord Knights takes this one.
One versus many in my in my
yeah,
head.
I think this is going to be one of the ones where it has as many equal feats for more periods in time. I think this is
So
the
you guys-
Setcon
you
versus
guys think I
Imperial.
have to give this to Muskets.
Yeah, I think this is
Alright.
like it's the Setcon Imperial argument of like Imperial has managed to do something recently and for longer, where Setcon did hit a wall and die. Whoa.
Red Hybrid and Royal Knights.
I want to say Red Hybrid because Red Hybrid is
think-
going through a transformation, which is it is now a bottom end engine.
This shit is so carried by people playing Red Hybrid after 81 and people not playing RKs after 81.
Yes, I think so. When we look at RKs, right? Like I would argue that the deck was better when it got Poolboy or Mecha Omni X than it was on release. I don't think the deck was actually that good on release. It was okay. The deck was decent on release, but it was not as dominant as it was when it got like Oryuken Ace, Omni X, Poolboy, Forecast.
That's because it became an aggro deck. Like
Purge of the Royal Knights. Yeah.
it
right,
was doing
became-
what you remember Setcon doing.
Yeah, like becoming a more aggressive deck that didn't rely on its defined kill turn made the deck better. Where like both of these decks, like on release, like Red Hybrid was more dominant on release. Red Hybrid
was absolute binfire dog ass on release.
I think people were bad at the deck. I think
it had a. If any of the two other color hybrid decks were good, it were better in that context. Red Hybrid would have been fine. But I loved that shit. I played the hell out of Red Hybrid. I the day I lost the battle to financial wellness with Digimon TCG was my BT7 boxes where I opened 3 Alt Emperor Greymons. I love that deck in that format. Every single time I played it, I was making the conscious choice that it was shittier than Jesmon.
No.
With 100% BT7 format, I was actively trolling.
BT7.
Yeah, on
yes.
launch.
Yeah.
On release, which is what you were saying, right? Like when it first came out.
You were a second killer. ADP, the billion checks.
Yeah. That's what it was for.
But I'm talking about like
12.
13, 12. Like, okay, Arceus came out in 13, but like in 13, Arceus lost to Red Hybrid.
Yes.
14, and like even in Anubis format, like during Anubis format, like Anubis was like too fast for Arceus, where like Red Hybrid was a counter pick to Anubis.
Okay. The counterpoint to that is Arceus had a really, really good hoodie matchup in
later
23.
on, when it got
yeah, but if we're talking like
I'm going chronological, so
yeah,
I'm
okay,
going so like in 15, Red Hybrid was like a decent Nume counter. What like Royal Knights like saw some play, to be fair, in like 15.
Yeah, it still care. It was around,
but Red Hybrid just like a lot better. And then they were kind of the same. And then like when Royal Knights got its support in like what was it, 21, 22?
That was the hero
combined
stuff.
set BT20.
Yeah, then like I
combined
think,
set was BT20.
Oh yeah,
because that's when they got BT20
World's Convergence, right?
Yeah.
That's when they got the set, like with the Royal Knights stuff.
Or it was the last. It was Special Booster 2.5.
Yeah, it was
the last
1920.
one right before.
So when Royal Knights like got their modern like support, then it was like so much more dominant. Like that deck was crazy.
I don't think any deck in the history of Digimon has ever had such a meta warping shift on what kind of deck building looked like. I think people were playing techs for Royal Knights without knowing if there was a Royal Knights player in their city.
Yes,
this is like
Royal Knights was so much better.
This is maybe the aura deck in all of Digimon.
Like the deck became unbelievable, like super dominant, like incredibly strong deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then Red Hybrid kind of fell off. It got like
Red Hybrid, I think then from that point on, especially after they shoot down the Ancient Greymon stuff.
It got the Ancient Greymon stuff.
I think it becomes a little like underdog sweetheart deck.
Yeah, when it got like the Ancient Greymon, I was like Ancient Greymon, Gigasmon. It was like okay.
When I think of underground sweethearts, crazy. I think of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think of LeBron James.
Our viewers are European. They don't know these guys.
Shaquille O'Neal.
I'll say like.
Oh wait, no, I don't. I think of Omnimon, the guy.
When Royal Knights got their support, they were like way more dominant than Red Hybrid for as long as it took Red Hybrid to get Trio Tamer plus a Gunimon, and now that like it has those things, Red Hybrid is like back to being like talked about in a way that Royal Knights isn't.
Fellas, will you permit me one more sports analogy before I have to stop being that guy?
Go on.
Royal Knights and Serena Williams have the same impact on their game as each other. It's a borderline 1-to-1, which is that Serena and the way she played is so instrumental to how we look at tennis. Royal Knights had the same impact on all Digimon deck building. Do you need to be able to handle a deck whose delineated removal is not one note? It's not just going to pop me, it's going to bot deck me. Dude, they might be playing on fucking All Force H. What are we going to do? All of these things factor in.
The thing is like,
I want to say that Arceus has been it's been better in more important formats. In like Nat season, it being good into hoodie when like tournaments matter for your like world's qualification. You weren't bringing Red Hybrid to a tournament that would potentially take you to Japan. So
So my thing with Red Hybrid is like I think Red Hybrid was capable of giving you a Japan trip.
That's definitely not true if you're Chinese. If you're not true in China, man, it won half of those dudes.
I also kind of forgot that like Nat's format was Anubis, so like Red Hybrid was
Red Hybrid was better from like its like release point for like a good like chunk of period of time up until Royal Knights then got its like support. So they basically like kind of like just swapped who was better at the time. And like in the now, Red Hybrid, it never got to like really what I will give Royal Knights is like Royal Knights was like the de facto like this is the best deck in the room versus Red Hybrid that was like anytime it wasn't that, and for majority of the time that it wasn't the best deck in the format, it was like an anti-meta pick. So if we're, because the metric is best deck in format of all time, then
the default.
Because the metric is BDIF and not like which deck is better for longer, then like sure, Royal Knights takes it. But I just
through. Cross Alphamon, Jesus Christ. We need to do our job here and separate the context of the games they were against each other in the formats. And I am going to say something here. I don't think this is as close as all of our original sentiment is. I think CrossHeart takes this pretty comfortably because Alphamon does not have a meaningful second wind resurgence.
Yes, it does.
And it has its one in BT13. CrossHeart has modern regional wins.
Okay, but that's because like
Elite Goggleheads.
One win.
Okay, so no, it has multiple. It has tops out of its ass from LATAM, and we are LATAM and Digimon enjoyers.
Also, Marcio, you're not going to pretend that Alphamon doesn't have one pilot in BT13 that would have.
It had
like a couple. Frozen, it wasn't just Frozen.
There were like Antics, Frozen. There were people like pushing the deck.
Yeah,
in
but
13.
The only one that had a proper top on it is friend of the show.
Okay.
And he didn't win because he got scammed in timer.
Okay, what I will say is that's like two Harry Strays in one video. What I will say is like Alphamon comes out and it's like pretty dominant, arguably one of the best decks in the format. CrossHeart also does the same thing.
No, CrossHeart was better than Alphamon. Sorry,
in 10.
CrossHeart in 10 is a 100%. That's the best deck in the entire history.
And it gets better in 11.
Yeah.
No.
Remember, we had a ban list. We had a ban list in Japan. 11 CrossHeart was like the. Oh, you thought your balls were being flattened now? Check out the Meat Masher 5000.
Yeah, that is right. In Japan, they had like 1 week of Cross 4 X4.
Yeah, you're back.
Never mind.
Yeah, you've got to remember, we played the revised ban list one where that shit wasn't at maximum ultra power. This is not close.
I don't know,
Alphamon's not a bum, man. It's just not CrossHeart.
So, the thing is, right, the reason why Alphamon, like, stopped being as good is because it lost Doru Grey. And I think like had the deck got to keep like the 3 additional copies of Doru Grey, I think in the following format of CrossHeart, which was EX3, that format with introduction of like Bloomlord with like Hydra, like I think CrossHeart starts to struggle a little bit, and you start seeing it in some of the lists like changing a little bit because they could just run like pure aggro because they would kind of eat shit to like Cherry plus like Hydra.
Yeah, but I mean, and some of this is best of one, so it was different. I'm going to acknowledge that ahead of time. But we have experience with that. Like Andrew mentioned, like the ban list that affected CrossHeart and Alphamon was BT11 for them. So like we know that CrossHeart was that good that whole time, and Bloom Cherry was not a real deck because of how good Cross was in their form.
Yeah, Bloom Cherry was there to beat BWG, which beat Cross, and that was the triangle.
I'll give it to the CrossHeart in the sense that like it was like the format revolved more around it. Like in English, people figured out that Melgo was like arguably better than Alphamon if you didn't run into like SetCon. Like Melgo was like a little bit faster, but like couldn't do a big of a push, whereas like Alphamon could pivot.
I think there's also some value in the fact that Alphamon has just had no feats since then, and Cross has had so many good waves of support.
But that's because it kept being the same deck versus Chronicle.
No, but like they completely rebuilt it. Like EX6 is still a very, very competent like version of like if we're talking Cross, whereas like
but like okay, the thing is
CSL
we're talking about elite gogglehead privilege, right?
Okay,
like Cross got
Dorugamon. Like the problem with Alphamon is that it's stuck like CrossHeart is like one big pile.
Yeah.
Like Alphamon is like, okay, it's Dorugaemon, or it's like Alphamon, or it's fucking what's the lizard called? Oriumon, right? It's like it's like, is Dorugaemon Alphamon? Like, no, obviously not. But instead of getting Alphamon getting more support, they were like, we'll do Dorugamon support. And that wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. But it was.
I think it is hurt by the card quality. I think that CrossHeart, even when they reimagined it, still has tops. I think it helps for the longevity.
They just reimagined like how it killed. like instead of doing like one chip at a time, they're like, you're gonna work towards like they're basically where like we'll make a better X7 and that's EX6.
Shine Puppets, yellow deck of recent memory versus yellow deck of old.
I think it's Shine too.
Shine.
I think Puppets is the beneficiary of a format that was very well catered to it.
Yeah,
and in the context of it's not the most right place, right time deck ever. But its wins are propped up by Nyaramon and Ukomon. It gets away with everyone not being able to really make defensive lines because of the other things around Puppets at the time. And Shine faced every kind of adversity you could possibly produce for a deck like that, and only went down after its second change on the ban list and the addition of trainings.
I would say.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. I think Puppets is definitely hurt by like Luke not attending more events. I think if he'd attended more events to try and rack up more regional wins with that thing.
That format didn't go on long enough for Puppets to stay good.
I think the problem, like Medusa is still being played because Medusa has people that believe in the deck, whereas I think the Puppet players all played it with the understanding that this deck was here for a good time and not a long time, and nobody has actually attempted to deck build further with that deck.
Maybe.
I think the deck also just struggles to like things that like beat Puppets are like really specific interactions versus like for you to have like a defensive wall against like Puppets, it's like the deck just can't beat it. And it's like stuff like Galacti, right? Like it's rough. Okay, maybe Galacti's not like a good example, but like you have to like stop the OTK, and when you stop the OTK, the deck has to like pivot, and when it pivots, it's not as good as if it's not just OTKing you.
Yeah, it's a very real shame that Beelzemon OD'd in the.
Yeah, Beelzemon died off screen. It's a bummer. But Apocalypse tucked Magnadramon and Sec minus the whole board, so nothing mattered. So that's the end of that one.
Apoc went, oh, you milled half your deck, sick. And
thanks,
then
man. GG's.
Just put Hootie.
It's Hoodie.
It's not even close.
Yeah, not even close. Jessmon and Gallantmon. I mean, I think it's Gallantmon.
I think it's Gallantmon as well. Jessmon is this is a card quality thing. Jessmon is really hurt by them making Jessmon the de facto spawner in arcades instead of being real Jessmon cards. It got Savior Huck unbanned and still did fuck all.
Oh, that's true. Sure. That's the most bozo watch. Yeah, actually, see you later, dork.
Sure, Gallimon goes through.
Omnimon versus Galacticmon.
Galacti.
Yeah. As much as I'd like to say Omnimon has something.
And then Mirage.
Mirage and Yellowback.
Mirage.
No, it's not. It feels crazy because Mirage is that much better.
This is such an interesting one because I think all three, because Yellowback is also kind of low-key yellow hybrid. Like we might lose 3 hybrids in this.
So like Mirage is like one individually like strong card versus like Yellow Hybrid was only strong because of like a bunch of different things interacting with each other.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Purple Hybrid or Black or Green one?
Oh, son or gay daughter.
Yeah.
I still think I'm a believer in Purple Hybrid. I think it's Purple Hybrid. I think it has better longevity. I think that's the problem. Call it recency bias, however you want to spin it.
I genuinely think that you could leave Blackrock Greymon untouched and you pair these 2 decks against each other, Purple Hybrid comes out on top. Because like Blackrock Greymon's removal is like 1 note, it plays into on deletions, which like
I don't know. I think you're forgetting our good friend Hades Force. I think if you pair these 2 decks into each other, I think Purple Hybrid gets mauled.
Post Uko, I think Ukomon Purple Hybrid can beat Blackrock Greymon every day of the week.
Post Uko, promo Rush, Gallantmon, like
I think Blackrock Grey's best out is OTKing him.
Yeah,
okay. Speaking of OTK.
Melga
Levia.
Really?
Melga was only good in like 9.
He's half the ban list.
He's half the ban list, but the cards that got banned were not for
it was mainly
Melga.
The purple ones.
They were banned for other reasons.
Yeah,
all right, you got me. I'll put it on.
Yeah, those same cards that are on the ban list are in Levia.
Bloomlord beats this because of Quartzmon, and I want to be pedantic about it.
But we're not doing head-to-heads or Plan Z, guys.
Yeah,
I think for
I decided that I want to sprint to the Plan Z.
for every North American online regional, there was a European single color Ultimate Cup that allows these 2 to go band for band.
Also, like I generally think, like I think it's like when you look at how these decks aged, Bloom aged a lot better than Blue Hybrid. Blue Hybrid just got to exist as like, oh, there was nothing better than me at the time, where Bloom was like new things released and I kept adapting. Granted, it did get support, but like the core was just a lot stronger for a lot longer.
I think Imperial is better than Olympus Megazoo.
I agree.
Any
I
contention, Andrew?
agree because Time Strangers is about to
Do
Do you
be.
know? Because TS, so I had to check the notes. So TS is here because this is every T, like the TS piles that were just like the blue TS good stuff, the Sylphie TS good stuff. Like this is Time Stranger slop,
Okay.
not Megazoo, like the Olympian
Imperial
list.
clears both of them, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I
I do.
think.
Does Sakuya beat TS good stuff? I think so.
Yes.
Yes. I think its defensive lines make it that the Sakuya OTK can't actually meaningfully interact with the deck.
I think Sakuya is still the best yellow deck ever made.
I would be happy to agree. What did it lose on the ban list that like made it worse?
The
It-
draw 2 cost an
a
option Sakuya. And
as well as
Kuzuha.
the choice
green-
restrict.
Green plugin.
Green
plug into
plugin.
one, choice restrict for the Volder and
Sakuya
the
X.
Sakuya.
Right.
And,
It lost
the
Nyaro as
draw.
well.
Okay, that makes sense.
Galaxy or Mastemon? My recency bias and personality says it's probably Galaxy to me, but I think Mastemon has higher peaks.
It's
Mastay.
I think it's Master.
No. Hold on. It's Galaxy.
Galaxy
I
Mirage.
think so.
You say
I think-
Galaxy Mirage versus KDA Master.
Yeah, Galaxy Mirage beats it because Mirage is a better card than like all of KDA Master put together. Like being the second best Mirage deck means that you're still a Mirage deck.
That is fair.
And like I think Mirage is like probably the best card in the game.
That wasn't like an immediately disgusting outlier.
The
Yeah,
deck
because people
got
were
better.
slow to figure out Mirage.
No,
Yeah,
it's
but
just his cards just were. There were no blue stack build decks
At the time,
There was just nothing to do with that card.
Yeah, because we came off of
Blue had Melga, and that was basically the only stack deck in
Oh
blue.
fuck, dude! I think I figured it out. I think if we went back in time and we made like Pyldramon and you put Mirage on top, I think that would have been the best deck in 12. Wait, wait.
With the memory inherit too.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, yeah.
because like it was 7 we got hybrids, 8 we got Imperial, 9 we got
OTKs.
Melga.
Yeah. 10
Um,
was Blue Flare.
Blue
So I
Flare.
suppose you could put it on top of Metal Greymon.
Yeah, I think people were just like didn't figure out that like Mirage was that card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think people
Right,
realize.
congratulations to Galaxy
'Cause,
for
dude,
having that guy.
All Force as well wasn't even
Yeah,
on
like
this
he-
list.
No,
probably.
he's a
No,
bomb.
but
Yeah.
he's a
All
bomb.
Force does not
No,
deserve to
when
be
you say
in that
blue
conversation.
stack decks, I realized we hadn't mentioned
Arcade
all
or
those.
Muskets, RK.
Yeah, I think it's RK.
Cross Shine.
Cross.
I think it's Cross. Yep.
Yeah.
And now me and Tom are going to have an intellectual battle as where he goes, "Ba, ba, ba, ba."
Absolutely, in no context is Hoodie-Mon even in the same planet.
It is 100%.
It's not even on the same hemisphere. Apocalypse is playing checkers with a gun.
No. So here's the thing, right? You have Hootie Loop,
Mm-hmm.
which
For
like,
Apox.
okay, but like you have to like draw into them on time, which like you're just not doing. Against Hootie,
But,
And the amount
this is at any point in its life, right? With the full
Yeah.
Garu bullshit engine.
but that means you have to chip me. You chip Hootie, it's bad for you.
When were they
You
chipping?
do not want to chip Hootie. You do not want to chip Hootie. You give me a tamer for free
Let
and
me
I
double
fucking
check this one thing. I believe it is fully unaffected by everything Hoodie could produce, right?
You also just sec -1 the board.
And sec minus the board.
Alliance.
Yeah, you get
All
one
right,
chip.
so that's halved your damage.
Okay, the mill doesn't matter because Betamon adds back what you need.
Unless you lose them to the mill, because there's
We're doing the
Or
head-to-head
Apox.
again. We're doing the head-to-head. This is not about the head-to-head.
No, but for these two specifically, you have like if 4 Apocalypse came back and if Hootie had 4 Shock, 4 Apocalypse would not beat 4 Shock Hootie.
It would lose to Ryuji. I don't think it would give a shit about Shock.
Because then you also have to consider the entire metagame around it. Apocalypse was really good, but like Anubis was around and Malga was around, and people were
Yeah,
countering
but you know what
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse was no-selling? Apocalypse was beating Anubismon.
You know how I can solve this for you, right? In the same way that people are taking bottom deck like interaction for Tohu Braves, people were doing it the other way around. In the same way that people were packing like cards to like shuffle back into the deck with like the merciful mode, people were doing the same thing now for Tohu Braves.
I agree.
Like paladin mode, right? Like.
So your argument is that because trash interaction exists now, Apoc would not safely do its thing.
Yeah. Well, and Hootie could easily play like a paladin if it wanted to.
I mean, my argument for a little bit has been that Medusa would fucking no diff Apocalymon and it wouldn't be close.
Yes, Medusa would also but Hootie would beat Medusa.
Yeah.
Right, like if we're talking about the counters, because it's like, okay, well,
but Apoc has basically no states where it doesn't immediately sack you with. Like also scrambles. Scramble existing. Yeah, there's Hootie scrambles.
Yeah, like Hootie could fit in scrambles.
Okay.
Like I think there are more tools that you could like. Hootie is like that adaptable that it could play dog shit cards to not lose the deck out. I genuinely believe, I firmly believe that Hootie was the best like Digimon deck ever. The only decks that like beat Hootie.
The things we're not talking about are like the implications of the 6s Apocalymon used to steal changing today. Like Apocalymon, but now all the 6s it's stealing are the Olympians. Apocalymon, but all the 6s are stealing are every 7-cost option from since then and BL Stark and copy.
The thing with Hootie is like Apocalypse has to like chip you to like get its advantage going.
It does, no?
To do self-delete stuff, you do need to do it that way, but there are plenty of ways to do self-delete stuff in Apoc now.
Like Guru Star Apoc doesn't have to chip you. It just
it never chipped anybody.
But that is too slow and has to push out to like develop that turn. And Hootie gets to freely play like Rookie plus Keisuke and snowballs and the game's over. Like not being able to contest its tamers for the most part, and just like Hootie just amasses too much advantage. On top of like its toolboxing in its 6s.
I get your point. For the purposes of clickbait, I'm willing to give it the Hootie Mon.
I don't think Apocalypse was the best deck. Like when Hootie was around, I think it was like the best deck in the format, and people were stubborn.
It's a format that I'd like to see more of, but I keep up occasionally with those no ban list tournaments, and you just look at those results, and granted, it's played in best of 1. The DigiCup guys don't always run them regularly and stuff, blah blah blah. Hootie doesn't win those. The decks that are that guy are Apoc and Crossheart.
I struggle to see a world in terms of like Apocalypse just got to exist in this world where like Anubis was the best deck, so the best deck in the. I think like if English had a bit longer with Apocalypse, we would have figured out more outs.
Maybe. I think
like you could try to figure out outs to Hootie, and people did try, and it just wasn't enough. You had to be like the best player in your region on a counter matchup to beat Hootie.
And it had to beat both versions of Hootie clean.
It had to be both.
Exactly.
Like Apocalypse had one version, Hootie had 2 versions. And
I'm
they were
all
equally
for
viable.
it. I'm all for it. Gallant and Galacticmon, I don't think this was super close. I think Gallantmon takes this. It's just a large numbers thing.
I agree. I think like
and it's not that Galactic and Vemmon aren't good. It's just Gallantmon is elite company. Yeah. Mirage beats Purple Hybrid. Thoughts?
That was how the matchup was. We're not doing that.
But Loki would though.
I think Purple Hybrid with everything off the ban list is a different story, but that's not what we're talking about the way we were talking about a second ago. When Purple Hybrid was at its a Purple Hybrid at its all-time best never could measure up. Like Mirage was gone by the time Purple Hybrid needed to. Yeah.
Single card. No, because we had that Euros format where both decks were around, but like
Mirage smoked it.
Yeah, Mirage won.
Yeah, Mirage won that event and
stuff. Yeah,
I don't even think Purple Hybrid.
I played Purple Hybrid on the other end of that table.
Purple Hybrid didn't even top 4 that event.
Yeah. Purple Hybrid's highest peak came afterwards when it got the BT20 stuff that it then would get matte banned.
Yeah. I still think Mirage is.
All right, I'm giving it to Mirage.
Yeah.
Bloom Levia.
Dog, this is Levia.
I think it's Levia.
Nah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Bloom, if Levia beat Sarismon a minute ago, bro.
I think
Bloom
has more like Bloom had more tops than
And
Levia.
No,
I
it did
believe
not.
so.
It did not.
No.
Except in the formats where Levia didn't exist yet.
But what I mean is that like I think Levia was good because it was like a few people playing the deck really well, whereas like a lot of people did well on Bloom. Like Bloom's strength was so high for like its time that like it was like a common like tournament pick versus like Levia became kind of like you had to be kind of a specialist to win with Levia.
A specialist of draw one, trash one.
You had to be like not. It wasn't a pick up and play deck, unfortunately.
But Bloom wasn't
I wouldn't say
either. I
Bloom
think
was
we're
a pick up and play
downplaying
deck.
Bloom in a really big way.
To do well with Bloom, you didn't have to do that much, like to start like doing well with the deck. I think like it was like how well did you play your bad matchups, right? Like some people just couldn't really play Bloom into like Gallant, where like some people could. But like Levia, what were like Levia's like truly bad matchups?
Super tough walls.
You could argue
choice.
Magnet X was 50-50.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 50-50. It was 50-50.
You could argue it was 50-50. Armorvac might have been slightly more favored.
Your Yellowvac Venus shit was unplayable, right?
No, because you were still a sec +2 wanker, so -1 is still enough to hit someone for
option
lethal.
from trash.
Seventh
Lightning.
Seventh Lightning would be okay.
Yeah, Seventh Light. What were like?
I mean, it doesn't have them. Was the truth of Leviamon.
It was
over the
Mirage.
years. Yeah.
No, it was playable. If you saw Gazi, you.
All right, I'm sticking it for Leviamon then, man. The longer we talk about this, the more this deck is just the devil.
Agenda.
Dude, the green agenda's up here. You got Hoodie into fucking the
That
cross
deck's not green. That deck is good because it isn't green.
Guy voted against Green Agenda minutes ago.
Okay, fine. Levy gets to win.
Sakuya is better than Imperial.
No,
Agreed.
Imperial's better. No.
Yeah.
Surely not. Sakuya was good
Tao,
like one time.
Tao Kuzuha, Sakuya.
Sakuya has a bunch of decks that we never had to deal with because they banned them out for English.
But Imperial just has more feet. Second at Worlds.
So does Sakuya. Sakuya has a second at Worlds. Kurova lost in the finals.
Did he to who?
I thought he lost in
No, he got third. He got third.
yeah.
He got third.
He got third. Yeah.
Same silver medal's better than bronze. Fuck.
No,
Sorry, Andrew, he's right.
I in good. I don't know.
Tao Loop, bro. Tao
Loop wasn't that good. It was annoying, but it wasn't
more consistent than Mr. Fraud High Roll.
Also, Tao Loop and Imperial, like that Royal Knights format, both decks were present, right? Yeah, I remember because it was that format where I took Imperial to Glasgow.
Imperial does have a top in 2026.
Has a win in 2026.
Has a win in
but that's only because they don't hit Imperial in the same way that they hit Sakuya.
They don't hit Imperial.
Yeah,
exactly.
Basically
they never hit Imperial.
They don't hit Imperial.
And for that, we got to give NBA Commissioner Imperial Germont the dub.
Quite fond of this.
Galaxy RK for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, RK.
RK is the first deck I'd give it to you.
I think this is the first time that we actually get to go engine for engine, and Galaxy.
It doesn't have it like that.
All-time peaks, all-time Royal Knights peaks before they hit Purge. Royal Knights is the better deck.
Yeah. That is fair. I genuinely think this might have been more competitive if the Time Stranger cards worked in Galaxy.
Cross and Hoodie. Could have been a finals.
I think
it's Crossford.
I disagree once again.
I'm actually gonna go Hoodie on this one, I think this one might be recency bias.
If you take those decks from like their time, right? Like, okay, the thing about Cross is that we look at Cross and we go,
it was like a 2-card OTK.
It was so good in its period of time, like nothing really like beat it, right? And then it's like you start pushing the deck to see like how far it could how far it could go.
Yes.
And
the competition was bigger at the time too. It had to do more against better things. And
then like, okay, you have to put it against like Geek Black or Greymon, which is like, unnerfed. It's like, is it going all the way? And it's like, not really, right? Like, it's probably, I mean, you might be able, if you're like really good at it, you might be able to like squeak out a win. And then like the longer you keep going for Cross, it just doesn't really get better. Was like the thing with Hoodie though is that it's a lot more of a recent deck, but I think genuinely you could put Hoodie in any of the current formats or past formats, post it's getting hit, and it would be like the best deck in the format again.
I think it
Yeah,
also
maybe.
still probably can do it. Obviously, it helps that Crossheart did do it very recently. But one of the
Yeah.
other things I think about, if we, it's Plan Z, but the head-to-head, this is the two, like, truly just like...
the peak for Crossheart is 3 years before the peak of Hoodie.
Yeah.
Like
Crossheart just gets
Marcia
more
made
like
a really good point earlier about Crossheart having 2 builds and people couldn't agree on the one best thing. Hoodie, actually, I think that is an actual weakness for Hoodie here. Because Crossheart, at its most X tier, completely degenerate broken deck, built itself from a Bandai suggestion page and was the freest win you could ever be given in Digimon. It is the most broken individual pile of 50 cards that you could lose to the goddamn DCGO bot.
So the thing is that like Crossheart is BT10 unhit.
Unhit, like the JP format where they go from BT10 all the way to their hit eventually later by BT11.
BT10 unhit with like Sunrise Buster. And like I think that deck is like really good for that format, and it almost caused the game to die.
Yes.
I think Hoodie was probably I think if we think about like times that like the Digimon card game almost died was Crossheart, Crossheart, Apocalypse / Anubis, maybe closer to Apocalypse. I think like 15 with Apocalypse.
I think Apocalypse is the thing. When you ask the players that played that format for longer, they don't remember Anubis the way we do. Yeah, the JP players say it's Apocalypse format.
Because like JP format had Anubis and Apocalypse and Melga. Like it had those 3. That was like the format. And then I would say the most recent time people said the game died was I think Hoodie.
Because it had Hoodie again, Arcades and Levia.
Yeah, the format was horrible. But Hoodie was still on top of that format. So I think like these are 2 decks that are in the conversation of like, did I kill my game?
I also think, again, Plan Z. I think Hoodie has more egregious security potential than like both of them are Tamers and maybe Sunrise Buster.
I don't agree. I think BT10 Crossheart is borderline security control tier, the best security Digimon ever produced.
I don't know. Like I'm thinking strictly on the head-to-head. Digivolve cooks or Ice Archery cooks out of security in the head-to-head. Like both of these.
It doesn't matter in the head-to-head. The Crossheart vanishes itself.
Do we have to actually
end of attack vanishes itself? If it hits Comet Hammer, goodbye.
Comet Hammer, sure.
It hits Comet Hammer, goodbye. It hits Ice Archery,
are we actually Plan Z-ing like if we can't agree on anything else, are we actually Plan Z-ing?
I don't think we can Plan Z because I think the thing is that there's 3 years apart between these decks and the game is different.
You could give me like everything unrestricted, full power, whatever version of Crossheart you want.
But that version of Crossheart never existed for BDIF, right? That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. So if you pick a version,
we're not comparing the best Crossheart mathematically possible. We're contesting the best one that existed.
Okay, and I think that's BT10.
Yes.
Right?
JP BT10 to BT11 Crossheart, I think, is the best Crossheart deck.
That version of Crossheart, the only things that would stop Hoodie would be exactly Sunrise Buster, which Shakumon has. Shakumon has half partition, so it doesn't matter, and Ballistamon as a blocker.
And it had the mem stealing too, right?
Well, you
from the old Zenjiro.
No, because I think Zenjiro was your turn.
Was it your turn?
Zenjiro is your turn, yes.
Okay, cool, never
mind. So Crossheart could play Graph Crush and Blinding Ray, but like now the thing with Hoodie is that
it had them at 4 at the time.
You had Venus. I don't think Crossheart is beating Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the security pressure. It still gets its on play and end of attack, but like, yeah, you did 0 damage.
It would be Cross 5 for the extra check, but they played so little Cross 5s because it was effectively a finisher.
Well, for what it's worth, BT10 Cross wasn't making Venus, right?
Did Venus exist?
Sorry.
It didn't have a yellow 5.
BT10, Venus existed in BT10.
Yeah, but Cross didn't play it.
No, Crossheart themselves didn't play. I'm saying Hoodie played Venus.
Oh, sorry. I see what you mean. Yeah, if Venus beating at, well.
The thing was, right, that in 10, like if we were to, when did Crossheart experience Hoodie?
Yes.
it was in 10, but the decks that made Venus did not have a strong enough of a clapback to then like close out the game on the next
After
turn.
making Venus, because you were making what, yellow hybrid, which was just kind of sitting back on its laurels, or
Lord Knight, if you wanted to do like Lord Knight with Venus, or like it
didn't matter.
Whereas like with Hootie, you make Venus, you know you win the next turn. Like Erica's crazy.
Oh, you know what? I actually do have to flip. I just remembered that Crossheart won Worlds. I just remembered Crossheart won Worlds.
Hootie had more direct counters.
Crossheart had to do it against Black Wargame.
Yeah, Marcio, I really wanted to put Hoodie. I was so on the Hoodie trip. I literally just remembered it won Worlds. It won Worlds, dude. Like, we can't. It won Worlds in a format that was hostile to it.
The Marcio Snyder cut will change everything.
Oh no, but
it's okay. We can kill Tom's Gallant for the love of the game if you want.
It's not even close.
Yeah, everyone gets
Levy
one.
Imperial, I don't think this is close either. I think Levy is like Levy was like artificially allowed to stay one of the best decks in the game for so long. Semis is RK Cross Mirage Levia. I think it's Cross.
Yeah, as much as people bitch about RKs, I don't.
If we're talking about like RKs are its most dominant,
I think which is right before the purge hit, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
The BT21.
So many of these decks, it's like Cross will win a lot of the arguments because like
it was like a different game. It was just it was
the first time the game almost died.
It would make it.
It wouldn't make it through. You out on RK. I think Crossheart was such a tier of bullshit ahead of everything else in the game that it was like it was incomparable.
RK in its disposal has Alphamon. Like if we have to cleanse it.
Yeah.
Crossheart's not beating Alphamon.
No, it's not. It's not beating Alphamon. Crossheart also, I would say,
it doesn't beat Omeka into OmniX.
They don't have Super Save at that time.
It's not beating.
Crossheart's certainly not. If you a single Atharene 4 is just enough to stop slowing them down.
Like Slam Lord Knight is really tough.
Oh, dude, Examon, the Royal Knights Examon completely claps the shit out of the Crossheart.
Yeah, but they weren't playing that back when they had OmniX. They weren't playing fucking Examon.
Well, just like Lord Knight bringing back like Omeka and then like Atharene Poor.
Ganku play Jessamon, play Atharene Poor.
Yeah, Royal Knight would stall it for a long enough time that like it just kind of needs to get it. It needs to see.
To be honest, I think Magnamon stops enough of the bullshit because Magnamon is just a little dependable blocker.
Did you fall out of security accidentally on the?
Yeah, to be honest.
Whoops. Yeah, I'm willing to give it to Yggdrasil's. Average.
But the thing is, like Royal Knight at the peak of their time.
They were not as good at their peak as Crossheart was at its peak.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys take this one because we gotta wrap it up.
Crossheart at its peak is so broken.
It was broken, but it wasn't unbeatable. I just think that like Japan was like kind of like baby Google guy. Like if we looked at like BT10
I don't think it's unbeatable, just to be clear. I don't think it's unbeatable. I think it's running into one of its two worst matchups right now.
Levy and Mirage, I think. No, I have to give it to Mirage, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it's like I think a lot of these.
I think Levia is the best BDIF of all time. I think I'm looking at my winner.
But I don't think Levy was ever like BDIF. I think
that is KBeeDS downplay. I think in a couple events, Levia and a couple formats, Levia is by far the best deck ever made in Digimon.
It is, but the problem is it doesn't have the results to back it up.
Yes. So the thing with Levia is like in a vacuum, I think you are correct. Levia on par with Hootie these I think are the two best decks that Digimon ever produced. Sure. However, it is BDIF of all time, which like has to account for like when they were like the most dominant and stuff. And like was Levia like we're doing Levia a lot of like uplifting here, but like Levia was never the best deck, the deck to beat.
Is
from my
this is
understanding.
Okay, I
this
had
is
to check
Steph
this. The
Curry
event that
versus
I always
LeBron
think of-
James.
The event I always think of is Florida Finals 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to go check because that event was Demon Lords won the whole thing.
Mhm.
It was Onion. And then it's Momin Donkey Nog gets second place on Livy at that event.
Oh, consistent theme that.
Then it's Purple Hybrid third, Takamika fourth, Mirage fifth, Purple Hybrid eight. So top 8 is Mirage, Purple Hybrid, Mirage, Levia. Top 16 is Levia, Purple Hybrid, Demon Lords, Mirage.
Okay, but the thing was that
They're equal.
Purple hybrid, it is kind of like doing a lot in like beating Mirage. I think like
But didn't we just
both-
say Mirage beat Purple Hybrid?
no wait, did it? Did we?
Yeah, I think to
So-
get here, it just beat Purple Hybrid.
No.
Yeah, it beat Purple Hybrid thing.
No, because we were talking about like the reason when you look at that format and you see like Mirage topping is because like it topped but didn't win the event because like against all the purple decks, especially against like Demon Lords and stuff, like Mirage would like lose to them and stuff, and like Purple Hybrid, but but Purple Hybrid, what was the metric again? It was that Mirage was just an individually like stronger card. Like we didn't
Yeah.
plan Z them. Like this is a case where we have to plan Z. We didn't plan Z that matchup.
Yeah.
I think one thing that also is relevant and will be relevant in the next round as well is the amount of draw power that gets to exist in the game is entirely dependent on a Mirage vacuum. Like, if Cross was doing on play draw 2 for 0 and the Mirage goes, how many cards in hand now? And they lose their turn because your 0 cross Digicross costs something for once. Oops. Levia draw 1 trash 1 gets to exist entirely because
We're doing
Mirage
something.
isn't there.
We've also not I know we're trying to speed this up, so I'm going to wrap this up quick. But we actually haven't done the thing we've done with these two decks for most of these other decks, which is we haven't actually said when they're all-time.
But that's what I was gonna say. It's really difficult to define Levia as it like you could
I
look
think
at Mirage.
Levia is like BEX8, BT19.
EX6 is where I would put Mirage when we got the Huan Kun.
Yeah, I or
God,
Galaxy maybe, but then we put Galaxy separate.
Was it
so-
EX6? No. I'm
wasn't
trolling.
6.
It's 14. It's 14. Mirage started being BDIF from 14. 14 is Mirage's like defined format. Oh, Tommy, you good, bro?
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to lock in. I was really taking that. The thing. Oh, is my mic again?
Yeah, I've turned you down in the recording. You're good. Yeah, Mirage, they've both been doing it for
14.
so long. From 14, like it
And
won
Levy
a,
was 15.
it won a BT
But they're-
16, 17 EU nats.
I'm looking at some of these events, guys, and I think it is hard to say because a lot of Mirage's wins are because it was Galaxy Mirage.
Which is still fine. Because like the Huan Kun did so much for that.
What I
deck.
will say is that Mirage is so good that it had 2 viable ways of like playing the deck, whereas like Levia, it was only really like straight Levia. I guess there's an argument for like 7 Demon Lords, but that doesn't. It's not.
I think you also have to say
Levia.
how many second places Levia has racked up versus straight up, honest to God, big dubs wins. Like if Moment won a couple more finals, this shit's freelo Levia, but like
All the European online grinders, they were on Mirage. Mirage was like everywhere.
and also in Shine format, like BT13 Mirage was also like fucking crazy when they had trainings and Mac Gao at 4. Like we never got to play full power Mirage. We never got to
Yeah.
play that.
I think we have to give it to Mirage.
I think we have to give it to
The other thing I'm seeing, looking at these numbers, by the way, is that every deck is lucky that Mirage killed Purple Hybrid for them.
We have to give it to Mirage, and then Mirage Cross. And if it was Hoodie Mirage, we would be saying that Hoodie clears, and
Mhm.
Hoodie would be the best deck of all time. But now we have to entertain BT10 Cross Art.
I think BT10 Crossheart's better than Mirage at its peak.
I don't know. I think both are very, very old. The game is fucking dying. Like these guys do go band
The
for
game
band.
was dying with Mirage for like a million years, man. They had the warehouse caught fire when Cross or Levolution or whatever that set was called released.
What was the gap between 14 and EX5?
About a year. BT14 was the holiday season 2024. Yeah, and then EX5 was almost a year later.
EX5 was January.
14
EX5 was January.
No, not that same year.
Yeah, no, okay.
You're right. Sorry, you are right. My bad, because I was
Yes.
EX4, EX4 was before BT14.
So the reason why I'm adding context to this is that like Mirage comes out in 14 and you look at like Eggman pie chart and the European event, the Euros event, fucking he changed his whole shit.
Digital Get Open still has it all.
So it was BT14 and then it was
Mirage was Mirage Finals was a Mirage, Yellow Hybrid, Mirage, Hunters, Mirage.
Raid and Trade European Finals, right? You had
which
Mirage, Yellow Hybrid, Mirage.
One Yellow Hybrid, two Security.
Was this 14? Or was it
14?
Yeah, Blast Ace was 14. It is European Finals offline on the 2nd of December. It's
first, third, and fourth were all Mirage. Fifth was Mirage. 7th and 8th was Mirage. So in top 8.
All right, that's enough for me to say it was BT14.
That shit is fucked up.
So in 14, I would say this is like the first time that we meet Mirage in like what it would be in the future. Yeah. Right, and this is 6 out of 8 European Finals Mirage placements.
I think it's right place, right time in that I don't think there were any important qualifiers for Cross. Like, it was just destroying the game, but there was no like regional championship shit that it could have top. Or that we have data for, sorry.
It was like the most dominant, but in NA finals, it was EX5. And like as soon as Anubis Spawn comes out, like it was like, yeah, there you go. It was like Anubis, second Anubis. It's like kind of similar, but like because this is like when Leviamon like got introduced, but like
Levy was access. In Anubis, right?
Some people,
Bryce had it for one of
but it was like because of Marva.
The 3rd place list is playing 4 Levia. The 6th place list is playing none. Give you. So then
Levia's most dominant, like the thing is like I don't think Levia ever produced a result that was like as defining as like that event for like Mirage, because to me that is like the strongest like Mirage ever was. So for Crossart, it's like because Crossart didn't have like a high tiered event, it's kind of difficult to like rate it. I mean, it did win Worlds. It won Worlds the year before, right?
2 years before, I think. It was like it was the first one that we had recorded. So I think the first Worlds was like entirely like offline. It was an online. It was an online Worlds. Was it first Worlds?
First Worlds ever was the one Crossheart one. No, sorry, Blue Hybrid won the first Worlds, right?
I don't know, because wasn't Huang commentating because he was.
Oh, God, it's been so long.
Yeah, it's been.
I don't remember.
We've also been recording for a minute here too.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you this. If we want to call it for the Mirage top 8, I'm willing to go for it. I had a quick look on Digimon meta for the JPBT10.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously not the same because it's not just one single event. But man, it is lousy with Crossheart. It's every third deck.
Crossheart was a lot.
And it's from the gate too. Like the first top Red got was
I got it. Debut set. Crossheart came out and started winning everything. Mirage came out, and it wasn't until it got trainings that it started winning anything.
Oh my God, you're right.
So is that a point? But who's that
Crossheart did it immediately.
Crossheart did it immediately. Mirage only became good because of a generic.
Several generics.
Several generics, actually. It was
a whole deck of generics.
It was Mirage was good because it was trainings plus Zudo Ace
and Gomamon
and the Floodgates.
Yeah,
whereas like Crossheart was like okay, Graph Crush and like Sunrise Buster.
Floodgates that would handle cross 6 ways from Sunday.
I'm okay giving it to Mirage. Looking at that top 8, I think it's hard to argue that that's not the most.
I also think on a
dominant
weird,
performance.
like if we plan Z, I think it's Mirage every day of the week. They have Otamamon, they have Madoki Betamon, and they punish.
They don't have Otama at BT14.
Okay, if we're going the exact peak, then sure, they don't have Otamamon.
Like later iterations of Mirage would beat Crossar, but peak Mirage I don't think would beat peak. No, I still think it.
I think it's close. I think we kind of have to give Mirage the credit. The other,
I think we forget. Genuinely, I think we forget how much fucking value one Mirage on board was, or the dreaded 2 Mirages on board. I think
no, because Crossar would never let 2 Mirages happen because of Sunrise Buster.
Mm-hmm.
Like the moment they promote and they don't OTK you get Sunrise Buster. And like I don't think that like Mirage can play through a Sunrise Buster in security, whereas like Crossar can play through
can handle it.
Did Cross go wide enough on Tamers in the Cross 4 Turbo?
4 Taiki, 4 Hikari, and maybe 1 Tai.
Yeah, I was just thinking like when they drop the Cross 4, like when they start just looping Cross 4s, like how wide the Tamers were, because you only needed 1 Taiki to do the OTK, because it would always restand the Taiki. So I just wasn't sure like how wide the Tamers are. We're looking at that a Sunrise Buster actually does a meaningful shrink on the first check.
This is like also like there were people that played like Grand Del Sol in Crossar.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you wanted like the faster removal, some people played Grand Del Sol.
But there's not a lot of great ways to get around that. That's 6 of that top 8 for European finals, which has basically never been repeated before or since.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm switching sides, guys. I think it's
What
Mirage.
if this was Hootie would have beaten Mirage's ass.
All right.
What's the vote? What's the vote?
I'm happy for Mirage to be the 2-time Misplay for Game bullshit bozo argument bracket.
We played Europe. We hate the blue cards. They're all broken.
All right, fellas. That was a productive use of our time.
We did. And Chad, if you feel like we didn't cover anything in appropriate detail, let us know in the comments. Get in there. Tell us what stuff we missed. If you're one of the guys that wants to say that we didn't read Anubis, I don't care. And is there anything else?
Really funny that all of the round 1 buys got.
Oh, when this episode goes out, do me a favor, go check your local web browser and go ahead and save the bookmark for misplayforgame.com. Thanks very much.
Is this coming out?
It should be, I don't know, within the next half week. I'm trying to get that done on the 1st.
Okay, so you want me to
So
delay
if you're
this?
seeing this and it's September 1st, misplayforgame.com. Thanks very much.
Cool. If you're seeing this before then and the website's not up, thanks for being a member.
Bookmark it.
Yeah. All right. See ya. We gotta buy. People gotta eat. Did we Baba Booey? It's episode 77, right?
I got a Baba Booey because we Baba
Booey.
I'm tired, bro. We Baba Booey too hard.